We're going live. We're
Great.
online right now. We just got to make sure all our feeds.
What's the name of your channel?
AbdoDesign. This is AbdoDesign. All right. Do we have some live feeds yet?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Okay. All right. We got to check on some audio.
Oh, it's like a 5-second delay.
Okay. It's good.
Yeah.
So we got good levels. We could
Good
hear
levels.
some things that are going on, as you can see. Welcome to the stream. This is the pre-show. Welcome to the pre-show.
We're at the pre-show.
So what is the pre-show about? This is where we just get to talk.
I think I should open my beer.
We should do
Would
that.
would be a great time to do that is during the pre-show. Adam, introduce us to this space that we're in.
Yeah, welcome to Abdo.
No, see, this is the pre-show, so you're not you.
That's my normal
That's
voice.
your, yeah.
That's my
we
thing.
don't want your radio voice for the pre-show.
I feel like that's
need your normal
good.
voice.
Thanks for that one. And I need you around, Ryan, because you
I
keep
know.
me straight.
You keep me on the level.
No, this
You're
is
bigger than your britches.
this is my 3D print space.
Yeah.
So I
It's
think
amazing.
for about 100 episodes, you've seen pieces of this space. Basically, a little bit over here. If you want to see it a little bit closer,
Okay.
you've been seeing this. This is the 3D printer.
The 3D printer. Great.
Yeah, there's Ryan. You can see him there.
With Ash, of course.
You know what? I don't think I appreciate the product placement of Bubbly in my freaking stream. We need a LaCroix can there, please.
And when you order Bubbly online, use offer code Bubbly /
Oh, Jesus Christ. Now I gotta put that thing on my stream.
I want to do this beer instead. I would rather talk about this Pagosa Brewing Company beer. My first.
We can definitely talk about that.
Yes.
So, this is not the show yet. This is the pre-show.
This is not the show.
So what we got today as our key sponsor
beer
for the
of-
show is
beer of the
Pagosa
show.
Brewing. Pagosa Brewing went and visited, and we are drinking the Powder Day IPA, which is a gold medal winner beer.
Did you
Delicious.
drink this out of the tap
I did.
at one of their brewery sites?
I did, and it was at the brewery.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And I had some delicious things called Bang Bang shrimp tacos.
Spicy, I assume.
They were spicy, but
Yeah,
not so
that's
spicy.
where the bang comes from.
Mhm.
And double bang.
But I really like
Man.
the flavor on that.
Yeah. It is
So
good.
it was transported by vehicle here to get it to us tonight. So this is a special beer.
This is a special beer. It says seasonal brew. Are we drinking it in the correct season?
I think
That
it's
is-
like this was the last 4-pack of this brew, and I had some live out of the tap versions of it, which was really actually pretty good.
I like it.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I like that artwork on the.
Me too.
thing. It's
That's how I
like
pick every beer. And you know
vectorized.
what? Kathy and I got addicted. We were addicted over the pandemic, and they finally just ran out. The local liquor store had Senoritas, which was a
Oh yeah, those are delicious.
like a local thing that to Colorado. I can't remember the name of the brewery. I apologize, Senoritas, but they were delicious, and they said for a special limited edition, we got them for like 6 months, and we drank them, and they were like $18 a 6-pack or something ridiculous, but we did it. And then they ran out, and they were never seen again.
It's because nobody was gonna buy them. You're the only one that ever bought them.
Honestly, I thought I was keeping them in business.
You know, I think one of our streamers, listeners here was a fan of that Senorita, because I think Heather, well, she's not there yet, because we're watching ourselves, so there's 2 concurrent viewers right now, which is good, but this is the pre-show.
Which is this, and
No, it's this one right here.
it's that one, and no one else, and one other person.
Yeah.
All right.
So it could be Heather, but the thing is, if she, there was a point to what I was saying there, and I can't remember what we were talking about because I got distracted.
Yeah, that'll happen.
But
Next point on the run of the show.
pre-show.
Pre-show.
When are we gonna start
is
this
the
thing?
pre-show. Let's just start it.
Okay. Well, actually, let's do a little bit of I gotta do my warm up here, get my radio voice.
I know. I was feeling
Verklempt. Is that the word?
No, like parched, phlegmy.
It tends to happen when I drink a lot of beer and not a lot of water.
Yeah. Also sitting. I feel like I need it too short.
Watch when you pull that there. Yeah, these chairs had to be a little bit higher. One thing about this room that I think I might talk about at some point is that we have these tables that are the folding under leg tables.
It's like a standing desk almost.
But why is it like a standing desk when those are just regular tables? And if you look,
Because you bought those, right?
So I was gonna go online and buy stilts for this table, and then I looked and it was like $80 for some freaking stilts. And so
because this is like, how much is this table?
The table is pretty expensive. It's like $50. Oh, okay. I mean,
well, but
relatively.
Still, like the stilts are now one and a half times.
Exactly. So $80 for that. And so the thing was like, those are freaking PVC pipes.
Right.
So I just went to the store and I built my own thing. I just measured it bar height, and I actually created this little method of building these stilts, because it's not just like a PVC type pulled in there. There's like a PVC in a PVC, so that the desk is actually sitting on a PVC pipe inside of this tube. Oh. I'm gonna have to. It makes it a lot more steady because I have a 3D printer on this thing, and
right.
You have computers and other things that you don't want it to be rolling around.
I love the ingenuity of all the parts of the stuff that you're doing. It has a very thoughtful DIY aesthetic to it.
You know, I think the aesthetic, which you talk about, is it almost naturally happens. Because if I was looking at pictures when I first got the lab, and what happens is you just get like a very sterile environment. Mm-hmm. Everything's just like perfectly where you set it, and then over time, as you're like 3D printing and throwing things around, and like things start getting around, it just gets here, and you start realizing the shelf behind you looks really kind of disorganized on the camera there.
What the fuck?
I have some baskets.
Is what it is.
I have some things in there. There's a drill just shoved up at the top. I think I could be a little bit better. I think that might be an improvement area. Mm-hmm. I don't think you see it on camera, but there's a little lamb at the very top. Oh, that lamb was given to me when I was a small baby in the crib.
It's a lamb from It's Lamb Chop, right?
No way, that's not Lamb Chop.
Look at the picture of Lamb Chop.
That is probably freaking Lamb Chop.
That's.
Oh my god.
Is he gonna sing the song that never ends?
You can turn it and see Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. There's a little thing inside of it.
Is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star just the song that never ends in a different tone or something?
Oh shoot, I don't know.
I don't think so, but he does look a lot like Lamb Chop. I think Lamb Chop had sort of a less fuzzy face, but that might be your only saving grace.
It's alright.
Not knowing.
I love little Lamb Chop.
That's so sad.
All right, we're about 2 minutes out. We're gonna go like full real show here in just a minute. I'm feeling pretty warmed up. My voice, I agree. It's a little like in the back of my throat. Mm-hmm. We drank some whiskey a little bit earlier. Try to warm ourselves up.
That's what I should have done. I should have drank. Let's. How many minutes do we have?
Well,
we're going live.
We have 2 minutes. Well, I mean, we're technically live right now.
Technically, okay. Well,
so pre-show. This is a pre-show, and it's not the live thing. So if you're gonna tune in, it's about 8:45-ish that we're gonna go in. Uh-oh. Ryan, right when you walked off the camera, we lost one of our viewers. See? Ryan just basically made it so that we can't have two viewers.
Can't have nice things.
Thank you.
Because, so here's what I heard. That was probably loud. That was trying to fix the thing.
It sounded beautiful, Ryan. It's like if you get up on this thing, you sound like a little bit like Barry White. How you doing, dude?
This is not like a. It's gonna be like a sensory. What are those called? God damn it. Anyway, I heard that people, when they want to clear their voice before they go and they record albums or they sing songs at concerts, that they will like take a shot of whiskey and like gargle with it for a second and then drink it. I lost my voice. You're like, and now it's completely gone. Ha! Got you,
sucker,
motherfucker.
And you come back in the room, and our viewer comes back.
See?
Oh my god.
That's how it works.
All right. Well, we are hitting the 8:45 hour. That's all right.
I need like a cough button. Do we have a cough button?
No, it's called your shoulder.
It's called your shoulder. Yeah, it's in a brick.
you unmanifold person. All right. So welcome to the show. Oh Jesus Christ, Ryan. Don't joke.
The show. You didn't tell me the show had started. I was gargling, and it's all over me. Is there a paper towel in this place that isn't?
Yeah, just
covered in
don't
atom cum.
Oh my goodness!
Too many computers in here for that.
That's
not to
all on
happen.
the floor. You don't need to worry about it.
It's sticky.
I ran out of that a long time ago. All right, so welcome to the show. This is the.
That was the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
The beginning of our show. Wonderful.
Oh, I mean, we're gonna lose some people. Look at the drops.
See, you can't pay attention to that.
There's thumbs.
You can't
thumbs
pay
down.
attention
Okay,
to that.
we're turning that off.
Yeah,
I don't want to see.
You can't.
This.
I can't see real time how much people like me or dislike me.
Well, it's not actually gonna happen. But if we had people interacting at some point, it would be important.
That's fine. Just show that.
We don't have any interactions though. Because
That makes sense.
We're not cool. We're not cool yet.
It's not your own sense of worth that comes from this video stream.
No. I don't know what you're meaning.
Your sense of you can't judge because it's supposed to be judging how well people like you or how not by how many viewers, right?
Oh,
and so if you're saying like I'm judging how well I'm doing by the number that comes up on that screen, that's gonna be hard.
Well, we suck then. Is what you're basically saying.
Yeah, exactly. Of course.
All right. Well, we're gonna get into it right
Yes.
now. I think it's starting time to show. We actually do have a slight run of show today
Yeah.
for you all, and we wanted to jump in. So you saw some discombobulated tests
Pre-show.
prior to this.
Yeah.
Well, there's the pre-show. We had episode 0, which we were just
Yes.
testing some equipment. But the prior 100 episodes, you have been able to see me printing a lot of things. There's been a few times that you saw me jump in and have a little conversation, but not a lot like a show like this.
I watch many of them.
Oh, nice. And you know what? You can hear in the background. I wonder if I can reduce this volume, which it seems like it's really loud right now. Oh, yeah. There we go. You heard maybe a little bit of Halo in the background, and that's a little precursor to what we're going to be looking at in a
The
little bit.
tease.
So we're going to go first off to our split cam and just so you can kind of get an idea of where we're at. So this is 3D printing room.
Yeah.
This is the maker space, and you're hanging out with Abdoanmes, which is otherwise known as Adam. And I got my colleague here, my buddy, my friend.
Tryenamy, also, Ryan.
And so that we've been playing video games, hanging out, being partners as friends. We get kind of sometimes heterosexual life mates.
I love that.
And for many years. And so we are constantly talking. We always we should record these conversations like anybody would think that they should.
Yeah.
And so we're doing it. We got the studio set up. We're going to go through some things and
I'm amazed.
Have some fun.
I'm amazed by this. I'm amazed by the connection of 3D printing and video games and conversation that we're going to have around all three of those. And the setup. Every time I come into this room, Adam Poches, I feel like I see an entirely new setup for this thing, and I get an amazing tour. Because it's great, because I come in we're hanging out once a month, once every 6 weeks, something like that. And so it's just enough time to have everything entirely torn down, redone, telling me how amazing the new setup is. And I'm always excited to hear more about it.
I think it's like a clay mold, and we're getting close
Right.
to some endpoints here. We got one of the new mics into this studio. We got a little bit more of the camera worked out, so you're seeing kind of our dashboard at this point.
Yeah.
So we can kind of go through different angles. You can see the nozzle. So I tore apart a freaking webcam and mounted it to this thing, and so to be able to see it, you can see. Oh, there you go. You got your hand on there.
Yeah, see, there's me.
Yeah, so you can kind of get an idea of what you're seeing. So we got that top view.
I'll be like Vanna White for this, and Adam will just talk, and I will show off the product.
Absolutely. So what you got there is you got Ashley Williams checking out all the prints as we go along here, which is going to be what we're going to get into next. So the first part of the show is talking about 3D printing, because that's where we started. 100 episodes, me 3D printing. Just a quick little story is that before the pandemic happened in 2020, it was just probably 3 weeks before it, I realized I needed to get a 3D printer to learn it because of where I work. I kept hiring people, and I had zero.
I don't know.
Truly.
You just didn't think 3D printing was cool, and so you wanted to buy a cool thing.
100%. I can swear on my life that we had churn at work, and let me just explain how it worked.
This doesn't sound like Adam.
We had of course technology and buying and innovation. That's fun. I'm going to get into that. But there was 3
I feel like
times.
you just needed an excuse.
Sure, and I guess you could say that it was but I've had it for like 5 years. I 3D printed like one little thing that I built in Tinkercad in 2015 or something, and then I was like, that's cool. I should like do something with that, and then never did, and like did a bunch of other stuff and video editing, all that kind of thing. Anyways, I got to a position where I had to oversee some work studies and people at school, and they had a 3D printer. We had to 3D print a bunch of stuff, and I never actually knew how to do it. So I kept hiring kids and be like, your job is to figure this out in a week and then print this stuff. And I did that 3 times. And it got to the point where it was like, okay, I should probably learn this.
Is that because you had to hire 3 people because they kept sucking at 3D printing?
Because they kept graduating or leaving, or they were
but they weren't like failing at the job.
Not
of
necessarily
figuring out the 3D printing.
So they would get it, and they were doing it on a MakerBot. So the traditional kind of MakerBot, relatively simple within their program, their slicer. I knew nothing, and so I bought the 3D printers thinking like, all right, I'm just gonna get one, and it's cool. I could do some cool things, but at least I can learn enough of it. And when I bought it, I also got a certification with MakerBot or something.
Sure.
So I was like, cool, I'm gonna get that.
Yeah.
And so then pandemic hit, and I was like, well, good thing that I bought a 3D printer. There's a hobby that I can get into. And of course, like any other person, it's a little DIY. Had to build the printer, put all the pieces together.
It sounds super DIY, dude. What level of DIY are we talking about?
See, I consider myself, compared to the industry of people that are out there doing kind of not. I feel very amateur with it. So, but putting it together, I built some mods, did some stuff. I don't need to make this a whole story about the 3D printing, but I just wanted to give like a little bit of a back history of what you watched over these 100 episodes.
Exactly.
And so I've been upgrading, building, putting cameras, and I feel like I'm at a good state where I can just like print things now and be able to enjoy the fact that I have a printer. I have a CRS 10S with a bunch of mods, BL Touch, a couple areas to hold the stability of it, move some of the different pieces around. So looking at it,
I feel like every time I come in, there's a new part that's like a different color than the rest of the machine, and I know that Adam has crafted some kind of thing to add to it or to mount some kind of new camera. Or I feel like you are underselling the level of opposite of it's like the opposite of plug and play, right? Like
it is definitely, but I think like and maybe from my unbiased standpoint is that just like to tinker with things. So I like when I first got the 3D printer, and if you're ever thinking about doing it, it's not something that's like super easy to just get in. Like I was like, I think I just spent $500 on something that I like wasted my money. Like, and the hilarious thing is I printed something initially and I mixed up the X and Y plugins, so it was printing all my prints backwards. I printed like 3 or 4 things and I was like, hey, that's not exactly how I sent it to the printer, because I mixed up the wiring, so it's still 3D printed, but the X and Y reflected it. It was a mirror. So this dog over there, that was my first print on this 3D printer.
How could you even tell? Because isn't he like symmetrical down the middle?
So he would. I didn't. I was like, sweet, I printed a dog. And then I printed a part that I needed in a very specific orientation, and it came out completely flipped backwards. And I was like, what the hell? And then I looked online and I was like, oh, you're an idiot. So that was my first learning moment with this thing. Good. But then quickly after that, the one my claim to fame thus far has been my glasses. So when the pandemic happened,
do we have a shot of those? We have no shots of those.
I have a shot of the glasses themselves, and I'll
just yank this camera up, and
you could probably move it around. I don't want to create an issue.
I'm fine.
We'll talk about the glasses. This is not the glasses episode, but basically what happened is my glasses broke. I have the original glasses right here, Ryan. So these glasses, I had some Ray-Bans, and they just snapped, and so I was like, I don't want to go out. It's a pandemic. There's a quarantine. And so I decided to try my hand at building some glasses. And I'll be honest, the initial build of these glasses was pretty terrible, and I never thought I could wear them as long as I've had. So I'd say I'm about 50 prints in at various glasses, and like getting all the things tuned in so that I could just print a pair of glasses, pop my lenses in, and then they work. So with that kind of build up and that initial kind of history of this 3D printer, what we wanted to do with the show at least initially, since you've seen so much 3D printing, is jump in and be able to kind of talk about 3D printing in a sense, and how I've at least learned and scrambled my way through it. I'm no 3D print wizard. I'm no 3D print editor in a way that like I build a lot of my stuff, but I found some tricks, and a lot of people won't believe it, but most of my edits and things I've built have been in Tinkercad, only because I am pretty primitive of it. I've used Blender, and I've used Fusion 360, and I really want to try. There's another one that I can't remember.
Are you trying to build something specific in those programs, or are you just going in to like screw around?
So in those other ones, it's because I have specific tasks.
Right.
So I've had to go like, how do you do this one thing in Blender? And I got that thing done, and then I didn't do anything more. So I couldn't like build it as much from scratch. Certain things I could.
Yeah. Okay.
So what we're gonna do is, and what you're seeing right on the screen right now, this is Tinkercad, and so.
Tinkercad is so I'm a novice in all of this. I'm gonna play the novice who's asking questions here because I'm very interested in 3D printing, and I enjoy watching your streams, and I enjoy the little things that you've given me that you've had 3D printed, but I don't really know about the process at all.
And I appreciate you asking, because that's what we're gonna take a quick peek at. So what you see right here is not really even an environment that you 3D print directly from, but more like one where you build something.
Right.
And this is a free in-browser kind of
that's interesting.
system that you can use, and that's why I love it. So what you're able to do is you just pull out primitives onto the canvas, and then you're able to adjust them.
Yeah.
One of the things that I use a lot of the time is I'll pull out this ruler, and I'll line that ruler up. And again, this is super primitive, but it's free. And it's pretty nice. So this
what is the 12 and the 20, or you know those measurements? Is that
it's millimeters? And so when you 3D print, it's going to be mostly in metric. That you want to kind of look at all your measurements.
I'm done with the stream. I only use our system. I'm not into this metric system.
It's so much more handy. I love metric. So everything I do is with metric. So and we're not going to go through building something today, because I think it's a little outside of the scope of what we wanted to talk about in the show. And we want to get to some video games and having some fun stuff.
I would be interested one day, though, of doing that as one of them. Like, I could be... I mean, I have a 3D art background. I feel like I could help in at least a certain sense to make something fun.
I absolutely think, and like, Ryan, you like talk about that for me right now, because when I come to this thing, I see primitives and that, like, how does this compare to a 3D editing program that you may have seen?
To be honest, I mean, I'm not going to pretend like I am on top of the game of 3D like modeling software. Everything that I talk about is from a lens of like, you know, almost what. Geez, how old are we? So, like, 20 years old at this point.
True.
Right?
It's gone through a lot of changes.
Yeah, exactly. But, I mean, the general sense of, like, going in and modeling things in 3D, I'm sure has some bearing into that, especially if we're just doing simple stuff. But I remember it mostly... I don't remember a lot of, like, primitives being shoved together and then blended together. I remember it more like... like taking a shape and then like using brush tools around it to sort of like mold it almost into shape.
There's a thing called Zbrush that I'm totally stoked about trying to check out, and it's exactly as you say that. Apparently it's like a really cool program for just modeling.
That sounds like VR. Is that a VR thing?
There's Tiltbrush.
That's
but I think it's Zbrush. Shoot, we can just look it up right now.
Look it up right now. Is this in the stream?
Yeah, this is absolutely in the stream.
We're just Googling things on the stream.
Zbrush. It is Zbrush. This is it. It's this software that allows you to do I'm pretty damn sure this is a software.
I would guess.
It looks very much like that. But so it's a 3D software that allows you to do that new and export as STL. So you make some really intricate kind of things with the ZBrush.
I was really impressed with the Google Tiltbrush stuff that we did even at your house and that I did at my house on my Quest. Just in the sense of like a more dynamic way of doing it, right? Because I feel like when you're doing it in this scenario with grids and tools everywhere and stuff, you're very like symmetrical about it, right? And precise. Whereas I feel like Tilt Brush is sort of allows you to do more sort of artistic style 3D, which I was never able to get into when I was in school because it just the technology wasn't available.
And that's the hard part of technology, isn't it? It's like keeping
Yeah.
up with everything. I feel like I'm always behind if
Yeah.
I'm not in it like 24/7.
Totally.
And so
FOMO, your tech FOMO. Are we gonna look up something to print here?
yeah, well, so here's the thing. So what you saw me doing while Ryan was droning away.
Oh
No.
my god!
is I pulled together 3 primitive squares and at different sizes, and so they're really just 3 different sections.
Yeah.
And the idea behind Tinkercad, which I appreciate, is that you can take all those 3 things and you basically group the shapes, and now you have a single shape that you could technically go ahead and print on if you like. And so they have a lot of different shapes that you can pull together. You can skew and distort and do things. But one of the nice things about this program as well that I found is that you can take another shape. So let's say I have this octagon shape here. I pull this guy up, and I'm gonna actually make this a little bigger, pull them down, and then you can turn it into a hole. And so in the same way, you can group all these shapes again, and it will drive a hole in that shape.
That's awesome.
And so what this becomes really good at is kind of CAD drawing out very simple shapes and very simple things that you can deal with. So in my Tinkercad files, I've done a lot of things. I've actually built a lot of my glasses in here, a lot of the pieces of those glasses, and a lot of different things. I'm just going to quickly go over to something that I did do in here recently. So you see the camera. So if you look at this nozzle camera right here, beautiful picture of the nozzle. How did I make that nozzle? Well, what you got here are some mounts. And so all I did was create shapes and use measurements to build a mount for that camera. So all this is just those primitive shapes.
Wow.
So there's nothing here that I like downloaded or anything. So if I go to these shapes right here and I ungroup them, you're gonna see it's just a bunch of shapes that I expertly sized and used all the little things and rotated it and then just grouped them. And so I iteratively grouped them, and I'll be honest, like I got the measurements close, printed it, and then like, wait, 2 hours or however long it printed,
Right.
and then it was like, oh, the screw's off by a millimeter.
Oh,
so
my
go in there,
God.
tweak it, move it, and do that. And so I just kept doing that iteratively until I like landed on my thing, and then of course I added a little bit of flair to put my logo and stuff in there. So it looks primitive in the beginning, but you can do so much with this if you're trying to do things that are very, very specific like that. So you see here's a couple iterations where I literally took apart webcams and then built various mounts that anybody could use and mount with the screws of those webcams.
Do you have calipers?
I do have calipers.
I
So
was gonna say,
if you
got
look
to,
over there
right?
on that, yeah, there's my calipers, which is enough for most of them. I need to get a bigger set, but it's
that's great.
and they're millimeters. So
Of course.
all right, so we get the idea. There's some level of work that goes into building your 3D object.
Right.
And so what's really nice about this program is it allows you to do it easily for free in the browser. There's a lot of things. If you haven't ever checked out Tinkercad, it looks very simple, but you can do a lot. So again, I've done like my glasses in here. So I had to take my glasses into Blender to do some of the work, just to get the right things done. But then I brought the pieces into this program and kind of assembled them and put them together to make it work.
Right.
So it looks like they were all in this other program, and other people can probably do it really badass in like one program, all perfect, and get everything.
Sure.
But my brain was able to use Illustrator. So I would bring a 2D object in here, extrude it, and then get some depth in it. And then I would use other kind of tactics, kind of, trim edges and do things. And so, like, you can tell in here, it's like there's rounded edges and weird things like that. There's little tools that you can put bezels, and you can use that hole to creatively, like, eat out parts.
That I find that to be all very. I assumed that you had downloaded things like this, right? Not built them yourself.
Yeah.
Is that obviously that's something that like a community builds around, right? Do you ever share any of your builds to the community?
So that's a great thing. So I did share my glasses out there. I do have a Thingiverse account, and I think I've shared like 1 or 2 things, so I should probably put those on there, and then like list the cameras.
Man, like you spent all that time to do that. Like
no, I definitely should, and honestly, I spent so much time tuning the tolerances on things that like it just didn't dawn on me to post it. But that could be something that we need to do.
But is it something where you would have to have this like very exact model?
So here that's a good question. So if you look on this thing, and it's actually kind of hard to see, but you see that yellow point. If you point at that yellow thing, that's called the Pet's Fang. And so we could look at. Actually, probably.
And so that's the thing that you're like adding to the 3D printer to make it a generic like socket or something.
Here's Pet's Fang. And so what I did is I printed this. This is a blower. And what the blower does is it cools the filament as it comes out of that hot end. And you can see an example of it right there. And this is the hot end, and then this is those things.
Why is it called a Pet's Fang?
I don't know. What's
a Pet's Fang?
That's what these people call it. The guy that made it called it a Pet's Fang.
Is it Mr. Pet's Fang?
Pet's
Is
Fang?
it like
duck.
Bill Pet's Fang? A Pet's Fang duck. It just seems weird.
The dude that put it is D. Petzl.
I don't.
So I mean, here's basically a cross section of what you saw. So this thing, you go download it. Just go down. I didn't make Pet's Fang, but I downloaded Pet's Fang. I printed it way earlier on. But what I did here was I made a mount. This is the mount right here. This one with my logo on it. And I could take that off and post it somewhere. And it literally fits perfectly on the Pet's Fang. Yeah. And then you just use the existing screws on the Pet's Fang, and then you can mount your camera to be able to get...
How perfectly is it to the millimeter? Like, and how perfect is it to like the turn of the inside of it? Right?
Absolutely.
Like you have to, it has to be like, oh, it's not a 37% curve, it's a 39% curve or whatever, or angle curve.
I think it's pretty much right on, and so you're right in asking that question, because if you print something, there is some shrinkage. It will, because you're melting plastic, and so there's not, the tolerance is always going to be off a little bit. Yeah. But the way that I did this is the original print I did of the Pet's Fang, I was able to just like use that, and I turned it into a hole, put it up against that thing, and that's how I ate out the whole of that thing,
nice.
So that you have the exact piece that you need. Cool. And so when I printed it, it was probably a little bit bigger, and then it slowly like, so it fit like literally like a puzzle piece.
Yeah. Oh man, that's awesome. That's satisfying, right?
Yeah.
How satisfying is that after having to print a bunch?
Well, yeah. Any print you do, expect to do it like, you're going to screw up like 5 times, and then you're going to get one that's half-assed, and it's going to be almost there, and then you got to spend a lot of times doing that. Right. So, yeah, there's a lot that I could kind of talk about in this, and we'll go through a lot of those, but I think what we want to do today, and just in the spirit of 3D printing, is we're going to go through just a quick few steps, hopefully rush through this, not too fast, but enough that you can see, well, how do you get something online from print, from a file to print?
Yeah.
And we're going to do that right now. So we got...
Because I want to do that, because I get to take home this stuff. This isn't Adam. You have a million little doodads everywhere. There's 1,000 little Among Us guys. These are mine. So I hope you just realize that during this entire show, is the length of the show, I drive down, but I get the 3D printed.
That's fine. You can get the 3D prints. That's your thing.
I said it into the camera. I said it into the mic, and so now it's true.
Unless it's the first print, and I want to make sure that one goes on a little shelf. That's right there. You're gonna hide it from all our viewers into its own little room.
We'll see. I might donate it to the room. We'll see.
All right.
It's my choice.
We're gonna jump into the first segment of this show here, and then we're gonna talk about downloading and getting this onto the printer.
Yes.
So Ryan, I don't want to like monopolize this show, and you can ask questions.
Hey, this is the part of the show where you're going to be monopolizing it, because I don't know crap about 3D printing, and so I'm going to be the one who's like asking you questions and getting to tap into your amazing knowledge of this. I feel like Halo. How many Halo things are there? How many pages of Halo stuff is there? Scroll down before we even look at this.
There's probably a few. And
4?
I think
no. I would think that there would be hundreds. There's so much cool Halo shit to model.
I'm not gonna debate that, but I think that it might just have it only
Go
shows
to the end.
4.
See, isn't that the end?
But it never tells you how many it goes to. Like, it just has pages and pages.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So see, we've already gone past it. So I'm sure that because I feel like Halo has a very iconic set of like armor and weapons, and people are always cosplaying that stuff and building their own things, and Nerf has done things like the Halo like aesthetic of weapons and structures and aliens and all of that is like very unique to Halo, and so I could see it being like rife for 3D printing cool shit, right? Especially
Absolutely.
cosplay stuff of like helmets and everything. So what I'm saying is there's probably thousands of pages of these, hundreds of pages of these. So I feel like we need to narrow it down. Like, what do we want to print from Halo that will be an interesting look back at, like, because I don't want freaking Locke's helmet from Halo 5.
So,
that's freaking stupid.
Did you see this? I kind of came across it. It's the Halo Cortana chip. Now, it's super simple. And so let's just look at it just for a second to see what we got here. And
that's from Halo. This is the thing that he takes out of the Pillar of Autumn, right?
He puts in his head.
And she says, what does she say? Like, give me some lines from that scene.
Man.
Can you name any lines from that scene?
No, I can't because
I'm
I'm terrible.
He's like, yank me,
Yank
or she
me.
goes,
Oh,
yank
yeah.
me,
Yank
right?
me.
Yeah, and she like looks around to see the ship for the last time. And
This
then,
is it.
And then he like plugs it into the background.
Look at
That's
that.
pretty good. All right,
So
I like that. That's a final contender. Bookmark Cortana
Okay.
chip.
So, thank you for showing that, because you know what? When I do this and I'm thinking of a 3D print, if I'm looking for something that I'm not creating,
Yeah.
this is typically what I'll do. Is with Thingiverse, it's sometimes a pain in the ass to use the back button. So, make another tab. So I just right click and duplicate the tab, go back into the search, keep doing that, and then we're gonna get some contenders up there.
All right,
So
good.
I think
like
that's
that.
a good one.
Okay, so now I want something like stupid. What's like the stupidest fucking Halo thing that you could possibly think of? Like,
Can we put Halo Stupid in there?
like
What does
I
that
want
give
like
us?
Halo.
Nothing.
Like so can you do Halo, but then can you search by like lowest amount of stars or something, or least
Most makes, so then we should
like
be able to go to the last.
like go to the last page of the most makes, and I want to see what kind of like just bottom of the barrel. This is my elite penis, right? If you
Here it
were
is, right
listening
here.
to the pre-show,
What the fuck
it's
is
a
that?
scale, a Hatley scale. Oh, yeah, man, jeez. Okay, that sucks because these aren't even like Halo. Like,
It has to do something with Halo. What?
some keyword got attached to this that was Halo, but it's really a butt plug. This is like an
alien
elite
butt plug. Wait, now confused. It's a comet. This is a freaking comet that you can
Hey.
print. Look at this shit online.
That's cool. This is probably from like NPR, you know, and they were and the Halo satellite was the thing that captured
So
this.
Ryan, you just said it was a dildo. How many people
It's
do you
true.
think have printed out the Hartley's comet
Countless.
and used
Countless.
it?
Yeah. I used to have.
Why would you print this?
I
What
used
would you
to
do
have,
with this?
No, because for like science class.
A
right?
model? Okay, fair enough,
exactly.
fair enough.
Yeah, like this is field trip shit right here.
So you think you go into Mrs.
And they're
Fizzle's
like,
class?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
She opens
She's
the
on the
drawer.
bus and she pulls out this butt plug and she's like telling you about how they 3D printed this. And that's
right.
like the new one on Netflix. The
Yeah.
new Miss
It's mi-
Frizzle.
All right.
Okay.
We're not doing that.
So
one, Ryan.
But
We're
I
moving
want
on.
something stupid. I want something. So here's the thing I always think with 3D printing, and this is my opinion, and I feel like it's slightly different than yours. But like, I don't want to use 3D printing for like building the next like the little piece of widget that I need, right? I want 3D printing to print me like custom shit that no one else is ever going to have. Like, you could go to the store and I could go to freaking GameStop. I'd go to GameStop and probably get like a Halo Cortana chip, right? Like
That's true.
that'll
You're
be
true.
in some kind of like egg that I buy, and that's 1 in 1,000 eggs that I get, right?
Sure.
But like, if I could get some kind of ridiculous thing that was who is gonna have a brute leg?
So
Like
here,
that's what I want.
here's okay. You're changing the game, Ryan.
Yeah.
And let me show you this. So we're gonna one up you, and we're gonna download this file because we're gonna do a mix up. We're gonna remix some
All right.
Halo shit just because you're calling it
Yeah.
out. So like we got this big hole
I got
here.
custom. I want
So
custom.
if you want custom,
Yeah.
one of the first things I'm gonna just download the chip to this to the desktop here, and let's get this sucker
this.
unzipped.
So you downloaded from where?
That was on Thingiverse, and just to throw out there,
Thingiverse.
I'm not like there's a crap load of other places to download, and there probably people are scoffing at Thingiverse because there's
Hey,
cults
this is-
or whatever.
You already said that you're amateur. You're amateur.
Yeah,
at
hell
this
yeah, I'm
shit.
amateur.
You're like barely above novice.
So this chip, it comes into two
Just
parts.
Kidding, of course you're not.
I'm totally amateur. I feel
Okay.
like it. So there's two parts to this chip. Okay, so the reason they want to do that is they want to do it so that you have two flat parts on the bed, and you're gonna take it off and you're gonna glue them together and paint it and do your thing. That's fine. So here's my little trick: is we're gonna go back over into our 3D design here, and I'm just gonna go back to Tinkercad, and we're gonna just chuck in a new deal, and we're gonna create our own thing. I think I already had one. This is our Halo 101. We're gonna tinker this guy. So this is the little boxes that we were jacking around with, and so hopefully this is gonna work. I'm pretty sure it will. But I'm gonna take this guy out, and you can use this import, and you can choose this file, and there's those chips. So I'm gonna take in the top of the chip, and so I'm gonna pull it in its millimeters. Everything else is gonna be the same. It's gonna take a second to look at this file. So the file that we just downloaded around was called a .stl. I don't know what the hell that means, but it's like stenography la 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 la.
Ooh, okay.
So we just brought in this STL file that we can now use as an object in this space. So
So cool.
if we wanted to, we can go get some text. Not that we're going to do this, but let's say I throw some text down and we put in, let's say A for Abdoanmes, and you put that in the middle of here.
Yikes.
You can adjust that. And obviously that's not going to be what we're going to do.
It looks like an Angels, like the baseball team. It looks like they're like, oh, here's the pendant that you get on
so you
opening
could
day.
you could do sands. You can do that. Or
oh, hey.
so, I mean, there's some options here, and I'm not
Great.
saying this is the end of the. You can create this maybe the X-Men one or so.
It's cool.
So
though.
there's a lot of things. So
Yeah.
we could go with just doing something in Tinkercad, or we can go back and go with the Halo theme, like we're talking about.
Yes.
Like, what's you mentioned a brute. Let's think of a character.
No, so like, what is a thing that I want inside of the middle
Mhm.
of that? I don't know.
Cortana's face.
Yeah, I feel like that's too obvious though. I want like a
custom.
dumb. I want like a dumb thing. I want it
Cortana's
to be
butt.
like just Cortana's rack right in the middle of it, and that's what Master Chief is constantly thinking of. If you put in Cortana into this and see what you come up with.
Yeah, let's see which model.
Well,
he is.
like how Rule 39. What is that? What's the porn thing?
Yeah, I think
Rule
I know.
34.
Here it is. Look at she's pretty.
Uh,
She's got some breasts. That's way more breasts than I ever remember back in the day.
well, I don't know. They were definitely going towards
Doesn't even look-
13-year-old boys.
That doesn't even look like.
That's like her weird hair.
This
Like
is-
I want the really like sharp hair that she had
right.
in that looks like the Karen, that's gonna come and talk to the
We're
manager.
gonna have a really hard time finding that. Look at this. There's that same thing, but somebody built a Raspberry Pi for it. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty sweet.
So that's kind of where you go.
Yeah.
You mix. So
Yeah.
a lot of what you're saying actually does happen. It's just that everyone just says, okay, here's that object you can find in the egg. Now I'm gonna make it my object and like go put these other couple things
Right.
together.
Yeah.
And so that's where we have this opportunity. Like, this is Halo 3 Cortana.
What about instead of Cortana?
Yeah.
What if it was like, what's something circular in Halo? The Halo.
Well, there's Halo, but there's the monitor.
We could do that. Ooh, that would be cool.
But is it going to come out? So monitor. I don't know if.
Monitor Halo. Oh, like I want the Guilty Spark in there, like a
Oh, there it
343
is.
Guilty Spark. All
There's-
right, so
there's
take
Guilty
that
Spark.
and shove that in the middle.
Okay.
I don't know how any of that works, but a guilty spark shoved inside a Cortana. Oh, that sounds. That didn't come off exactly phrasing, right? So what is this? So these are all free, right?
Free.
Uploaded by the community.
Yep.
There's
There's a few things to keep in mind is when you look at these, there's some licensing for some reason it's not loading on this one. Let me go to this. Okay, it was in Guilty Spark. So there should be some licensing that loads up here, and we'll check out that Creative Commons. But it kind of tells you what you would do. For some reason, it's not loading. We'll deal with that. But the license will tell you like, can you print it for sale or things like that, or if you mix it, what do you need to do? So honestly,
that makes sense.
I should probably look at what it allows me to do.
Oh well, apparently there was a glitch and we couldn't see it, so we're in the clear.
Son of a bee.
Let me toast that with my beer.
So I just want to let everyone know you should always buy WinRAR at some point in your life. I'm not there yet.
That's great. Good one, man.
All right. Let's pull in the whole Guilty Spark, and let's get this guy going.
Now, let's say there's a Guilty Spark, and then there's a Cortana chip in the middle of it.
Yep.
How does that work in the sense of, like, does it have to build little legs up for each? Because let's say there's something, like, suspended above the ground. So if you have a circle, or if you have a sphere, and then you have a plane in the middle of it, which is basically what we're doing, right? How does that print?
Well, it depends on how we're going to do this. Because you got to think about it. We're about to print half of this thing right now. And so what I mean by that is that you can see it's completely flat on the side. Yeah. So if we really wanted to do this, we should import the other part as well, print that alongside it. Now, so Guilty Spark, we have a couple options here. We can print the front half of it and the back half of it together, so when we glue it together, it's one thing.
And then you glue it together. Okay.
I think for the demo here, and you can tell it's importing right now, and we may actually even get a fail on this. I've seen this happen sometimes where there's only a certain file size that allows you to import into Tinkercad. I mean, it's a free program online, so they're not going to be able to like pull these really complex things in there.
Yeah.
But once that imports, it'll drop it on the scene, and we can do all the same things as with this as a normal object.
What if we did it like what if it was like a head-mounted plaque that I'm gonna put on the wall of fucking Guilty Spark, right?
Yeah.
Like, so let's cut off one end of him and sort of put him in the middle there, like we've mounted his head on the wall. I feel like that's a good dumb thing to have there. I want his eyeball looking outwards though.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have to wait for this thing to do.
Oh, what the heck? Is that because the file size is so big?
So that's a good question. So what I believe is happening, because I don't necessarily know, is that you have a very complex shape that has a lot of different sides to it. And so if you know,
it didn't look any more complicated than this one.
It could be the size it was exported. It could be a lot of different things. So
it could be your shitty computer.
Oh, we got it. Look at how
because it's fucking gigantic.
it's a Guilty Spark.
He's not the size of the moon.
Jesus. Okay, so what's the front? He's looking straight down.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, that's it.
Isn't the like?
That's not that's not his face. That's like a little mouth hole. Okay, so you can take that gargantuan guy, and I'm holding shift if you're curious.
Yeah, I am.
Just to kind of size him down.
Okay.
And I sometimes like this isometric view where it doesn't mess with things.
That's cool.
So we'll turn that on.
That's slick, actually.
So here's how this thing handles it. So it's really nice. I'm using the right mouse button to kind of click and manipulate the screen, and then the middle mouse button to click and drag it around, which I learned that from you, Ryan.
Yes, I was going to say.
Middle mouse is like
middle
a
mouse.
thing.
Like, I spent years buying middle 3-button mice with no scroll wheel. And I could not find them anymore at some point.
I'm pretty sure they don't
exist. Which seems insane to me, because that's the way to do 3D. Like, because you accidentally hit it and you're scrolling it. It's like not meant for a third button.
The buttons are better now. The buttons are more. They have a little bit more tension.
I'm gonna be the old man.
I'm
gonna be the old man about it.
All right, so we always see the people that girls are like, I'm gonna do a 180, and then they do a 360. We need to flip this thing around. So we're gonna
Flip
do
it.
180, right?
Yep.
See, there we go. So we just
180.
we flipped it. So what you have with here is when you select it, you'll see these little areas that you can kind of flip it around. And so at this point, all we're really doing is sizing it. And so like what we're doing here is kind of just jacking around. We're just putting a guilty spark inside of a Cortana
Don't call
chip.
that jacking around. This is important. This is going on my wall. How big are we printing this?
Oh God, we're not
like the
going
size
huge.
of like a hubcap, like the size of like
You're getting this one, just to let you know, this one's gonna be pink. Cause
Sure.
pink. that's what is loaded.
That was just we can't change that.
Well, it's pink on the literal
No, I was
printer
gonna
itself.
say, right? Yeah,
we
is
could,
it-
but
because all it cares about is the color of the stuff that you put in, right? Like that's
it doesn't care. Yeah, it's not going to care about color at this point. I don't have a color kind of thing.
because I'm gonna paint it in magnificently until it's like a cosplay worthy.
So here's the question, Ryan, do you want that version or do you want? I think I need okay, that was the bottom of the chip. So there's a top and a bottom. So we got to just make that decision.
Okay.
And so
I can't have both. What's the other side of the chip gonna be? Just flat?
you could have either or.
No, you know what? That's fine because I'm like mounting it on the wall, basically like a trophy to me destroying Guilty Spark, which has always been my dream.
So which of the two? Which one would you write as your face? You want this guy or you want that guy? That one, I'm putting my vote in for that one.
It seems
Busy.
it seems like like thumb things that you're grabbing onto and like pulling apart, right? Where that one seems a little more I feel like that one seems a little more Halo-like. It seems like an armor plate that could be on like a shoulder pad.
And I guess these things line up really well.
That one looks like an SD card.
This one?
Yeah, the
Damn,
orange
it's deleted.
One. Get out
And I
of
bet
here.
you that's where they got that. I liked it, and now you convinced me. Okay, Ryan, what do we need to do?
I feel like so
Get this out of this program. Well, you learned a little bit at the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. Shrink it down a little bit, like so that it looks like it goes the Guilty Spark in the middle. Shrink
Okay,
it down.
you want him smaller.
Smaller.
Okay.
And like center him in there.
Okay, I'll center him. Is that too small? Is that enough?
That
Or-
you know, who's to know? I'm a visual person. I need it to be spelled out for me, and then I will agree or disagree with this design you've created. Disagree. No, that looks good. Yeah, so here's what I want. Here's my vision, and then you just make the vision. I want it to seem like we have mounted his head onto a plaque as if he were a deer that I hunted in the woods.
So I think we're close to that. That's
And then so let's say I was actually 3D printing this. The bottom part there, I don't give a shit about that anymore. I just want that deleted and flat with the bottom.
So you're right on point with the next step. So if we were to export this, it would export that bottom part.
Okay.
We could lay it on the bed in the 3D printing program, and it could cut off that bottom part.
Yeah.
But what we're gonna do is we're gonna shear off that bottom.
See, that's what I was talking about. Shear, something that just like.
But it's the same way we talked about before, where you have to bring out a shape, which I do have here, and we'll get this lined up, and we'll pull this down here, and you notice there's some numbers that give us negative. I should
cool.
put that at -20.
Negative.
And that should, did I not? -20. There we go. And I knew -20 because the height of it was 20.
Because that's the exact bottom.
Yes. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to pull out. It doesn't really matter how big this is, but we just want to make sure
It covers everything, right?
everything in the bottom.
Yeah.
And so if you get really, 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 really close, that bottom is just exactly at the bottom of that.
It reminds me a lot of Illustrator, right? Working with vectors.
Absolutely. I think that's why it translates well. So then you just group those shapes. Takes a second to kind of extrapolate all the different shapes, and it's going to be a single shape in just a second.
What's it doing? What did it just do right now?
So I highlighted them all.
Okay.
And then I grouped them. So when it groups them, it creates like a shell from my reading, and it creates a single shape, so that has all the layers on the outside.
That's why no pink. No pink
There's
anymore.
no pink. Now one thing you could see is a very slight, like I cut it just a little bit too much, and then inside here What are we seeing?
Yeah, it's like not connected at all to
The
that.
question is it connected in any area?
It's got to be, right?
So it looks like that's just free floating inside of there.
That's,
But
cool.
it's cool. The problem is it's never how are you going to mount it to actually get. And so if you like that, what we could do, and this is where it comes into where we could pull in other shapes, and this is where
Build
it
a
gets
flat back.
You could build that back with this. So see this little arrow? This just like lifts it and puts it across the canvas or the canvas, and then this will kind of adjust it,
scales it.
So what I could do is I could pull something like this,
cool,
behind the back of it. You get the whole shape figured out.
Snap it to 20 so it's flush with the bottom, right?
And it's at the bottom because when you pull it, it snaps to the bottom of the canvas.
That's a good idea.
So there might be a very subtle shape behind here. Now you said you're going to mount this on a wall.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
So what do you envision the top? I guess it's kind of symmetrical. Oh no, this would be the top, right? Because this is the bottom.
Yeah. His little eye part.
So maybe we want to do something at like, I don't know. Let's see, 4. Let's see how big that is. Maybe like 2.
Yeah.
And so now we have
I see what you're doing.
This like little hole here.
Yeah. So we could put the nail there or whatever.
In there. So now you have like...
How tiny is this? That's the nail hole? I thought I was mounting this on the side of my, you're thing of my garage.
You're at 47 millimeters. Get that thing. There is no way we're getting it that big. You want it to go for 24 hours? Get the calipers.
Give me those calipers. This is ridiculous. No,
This is okay. We gotta look. This is how big it's gonna be. It's gonna be as big as 2 SD cards.
It's like a little pendant for me.
It's a little pendant, man.
Yeah, I like it. That'll be good.
We can make it a little bigger.
I couldn't. It's not like I'm gonna go home with a mounted Guilty Spark on Cortana thing and be hanging up in the front room.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going in my office.
We could do that.
And for one thing, this is going to be a collection of them that I'm going to have for every single one of these.
You need a little bit.
And so I need to be able to have it in a very tasteful, display case, of course.
So, okay, we got this one, and here's my only thing is that hole kind of looks out of place, and so...
Yeah, see, no, I'm saying maybe no hole, because I'm going to,
What if... Okay, so here's where 3D printing abilities come into play. So what if we did the hole, but it wasn't all the way through?
All right.
It was just enough in the back that you can get, a little bit
the
of
nail head hanging there,
just in there, just in case.
Yes.
And you don't even need it.
I love that. See, now we're 3D fucking printing.
That's what we're talking about. So here's my little
this mashup of 343 and a Cortana chip wasn't 3D printy enough.
So what I'm gonna do is, just so you can kind of see how I would approach this, is I want to see the depth. So I swapped this hole that I want to actually do, and I'm gonna go up a little bit just so I know that I'm I'm surfacing out of the thing. So I'm gonna go down just enough. So look at that hole depth. That's what we got there. I'm gonna turn this back into hole material or whatever the fish is called.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna grab this.
It's like dark matter. Just
Absolutely.
suck it out as soon as you become that shape.
Did I select that thing? I think I did.
It's still there. It's still sitting there.
Okay, I got it. Let's see if we can put it together. I think we got it. So we got to wait a second. It takes a second to think about it. This is Tinkercad thinking about it. There it is.
I mean, it's amazing that it's running in browser at all, to be honest. But wait, I don't see the hole. Okay, there we go.
The hole is there.
Hole's there.
We have all the pieces.
That's amazing. And we're sure that's the bottom of his eye, right?
We're gonna guess it is. It looks pretty much like the bottom of his eye. I think I'm gonna say it is.
All right.
Good. We spent copious amount of time. We need to get to play some fucking Halo.
I know.
Pretty soon here. This is not 3D printing.
3D printing takes forever.
I already drink my beer, man.
Did you?
That's all right. This is good. We're getting warmed up on
Totally.
this. I think this is good conversation.
Plus, I can't wait to see this design. I think it's gonna be super cool.
All right. So here's we're gonna do. First of all, let's do the rundown. We're gonna do this quick because this other part, it could be just as long of a conversation, if not more. So I'm gonna save this out. We're calling this Halo 101 for episode
Halo
101.
I love that.
Hell yeah! So Halo 101. So we just downloaded using the export feature to go to STL. There's some other objects files if you're interested in that. We're not gonna do that now. We're doing the STL. So on my desktop, I'm gonna have the Halo 1 STL. Now you have this weird format that you're seeing. I'm going to be launching this program we call Simplify 3D. So I did actually have to purchase this program. There's another one out there called Kira that you can get into if you're into that. It's a free version of it.
What does Simplify 3D cost?
I think it was like $200-$300.
What?
Yeah.
Fuck. This is an expensive hobby.
Well, once you're in, then it's done.
That's
and
true.
It's the thing. So
That's true.
Just without going into too much depth, it's like we're into a program that looks basically like we were just in Tinkercad, right?
And you paid $300 for this.
I paid.
The other one
I
was
could have.
free in
It's
browser.
probably $200, but whatever.
It's coming down now that I'm teasing you about it.
No. So here's their thing, and I thought they had an interesting kind of thing. They're like,
Okay.
hey, you want to trial this? Give us your money and pay for it, and you can get it for free for 30 days. And if you don't like it, we'll return it free, like everything
Sure.
returned. And so the thing is, you get it for 30 days, and you're like, this thing is the shit. I need this
Yeah,
program. How am
right.
I going to 3D print?
Yeah.
They know that timing is 30 days.
Yeah.
So all we did, and we're not going to get through this today, is you have to set up your 3D print. This is my 3D print bed virtually. You can see the Z, Y, and the X, all the details here. Off on the left-hand side, this is going to be pretty core to what we're going to do. First thing we need to do is we need to get that model in here. So we got to go to our desktop where I saved this. There's Halo 101. We're going to import it to the campus. Now it says it's really small. Should you convert it to inches? I'm going to say no. We're going to keep this with the
we're
millimeters.
staying with the Queen's metrics.
But it must be really, 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 really small.
What the heck? I thought it was the size of a pendant.
That's what I thought too. So we're going to
It's
have
the
to...
size of like a grain of sand in the middle of this field.
It literally has to be. So let's see if we can find it. 'Cause
It's just like drag select. Find it.
there is... Okay.
It's not there.
No, it's there. It's gotta be. Okay, so how do you... Okay,
It's gone.
We're removing this. We're going back. Thankfully, we did not... Hold on.
Nothing happened. All good.
Oh, wait. Did I select it when I exported? Maybe I didn't. That's probably what I did. Export. It's in the right format. Halo 1. Okay, we're good. We're saving the file.
Save
We're
it
doing
over
this.
it,
We're
sure.
replacing.
Yeah.
This time, if it asks me that same thing, I'm just going to be like, yeah, do that thing. Halo. No. Okay, we were good.
I love how it poops it out.
So what I did, just so you know, is I saved that when I exported from here. I exported with nothing selected. So it just exported a nothing
It just had
canvas.
like a blank
so
file.
that made sense. So you can get a little bit more scale of what we're about to do. So if you look at this 3D printer, it's like it would be eclipsed by that printer head that you have. So this printer head's going to be pretty much eclipsing this.
Okay.
So what we just pulled in is your 3D art. And we're going to figure out some things that we need to do to make sure we can print this. And so generally 3D printing is about going in here and printing this in a bunch of 2D layers that just get stacked on top of each other.
Sure.
It's, for the better lack of a way of thinking about it, it's a glue gun that just goes across the canvas and prints one layer at a time in a very logical and precise fashion. So there's a bunch of different filament types that you can go figure out. I use PETG. That seems to be the most environmentally friendly, but also strong for all the kind of things that we would like to do. It's
What
just my
makes it-
default.
Quickly, what makes it environmentally friendly?
So the composition of the plastic and the kind of things that it goes into it. So there's another one called ABS that has some toxic materials that are inside of the plastic. So
So
you
you
have to
just
do
throw away all those test ones. You're just throwing it into a landfill to last for thousands of years.
You know, this one's similar, but it also is just bad for your health. Like, you're not
Right.
supposed to be around the printer. So
Yeah.
I'm in this room that's a little
Yeah,
closed off. I'm
totally.
like, hey, let's
Yeah,
go ahead
that's
and make
not
sure we
good.
do this thing in the right
That
way.
makes sense.
So what we're going to do here is we're going to just put this through the slicer. For a quick once overview.
Put it through the slicer, Adam.
Is I'm going to look at the process settings on this thing that I have, Pet G, in case you're interested and you're watching this video later on.
Yeah.
But we're not going to go through. There's a billion tabs here. But basically what it's setting, like the nozzle diameter, it's going to be like how quickly it comes out of that diameter. A couple other details of like retraction being when it's pushing out that filament, at some point it's also going to kind of pull out the filament just for a second so that you'll be able to not have it oozing out as it's moving around. So it's constantly pushing and pulling. So I'm just going to run through these tabs real quick. So extruder, it's just talking about the diameter. We're at 0.4. I'm pushing a little bit more out with the multiplier, and I have retraction on by about 5 millimeters. Layers, 2.2 height, pretty typical. I keep a lot of this at defaults for this point, but it's pushing out a little bit more in terms of percentage for that first layer, and does a little slower so that it gets really good adhesion for that bed. We have additions. Additions are things that happen that are not actually part of the print. So when you start a 3D print, it's not just like perfectly squirting it out right at the beginning. So I like to run a few lines of what we call skirting. So it's literally a skirt around the item before it actually starts printing. And so we're saying we want to do 3 skirt outlines on this with 1 layer high before we actually even print anything of the actual print. So that gets off some of the things that might be like extra little filament, or if it doesn't start extruding right away. You jump into the infill. So infill is pretty interesting, apparently. I was being funny and had it at 69 at the last time I had the infill.
Nice.
So infill is how much do you need in the interior of this thing to make it as solid as you want. And typically, I'm going to be honest, you usually only do about 20 infill. You don't need something big. Now, if you're doing a really heavy-duty part, you want some stability, you pump it up to 100. They have some.
It just takes longer, right? Though
it takes a shit
way
ton
longer,
way longer. Like going to 20 between 100 could be the matter of like hours.
Wow.
So there's a lot of time.
Yeah.
And then you got your ability to generate support material. This is material that holds up things that would actually be printing in midair. So sometimes you have to print kind of like a column up to the top to be able to kind of print it in there. I'm going to turn that off for a second. You have temperature real quickly. You got the temperature of the bed. So we're going to be running the bed at about 65 degrees. And then we have the primary extruder. I like to start out a little hot with 248. And then I kind of drop it down just a couple degrees to 245 for the rest of the print. You have some cooling. So we're going to be not running the fan on the first layer. And so that allows us to just get a really molten hot plastic as it like gets to that bed. And then the second layer, it starts to cool it down. So as you do the layers, it's instantly like cooling it. So there's a fan on the front of there. So
that makes sense.
G-code. This is something that I haven't tweaked too much, but you can take a look at it. There's the settings on it. So scripts. This is interesting just to know about, but scripts are a way that it runs through these like G-codes, and that's why they call it G-code.
Yeah.
But G-code are scripts that are like injected in before your print. So the actual print itself is a bunch of these little G-codes of like telling it to do things around and move the head around.
Okay.
And so this is saying put this in front of that script. And so this is like the startup, heat, level, do all that work, and then we're going to get into the print.
Okay.
And then I also have this other area where you can inject lines of code in there. So if like, let's say I wanted to stop at a specific layer, so I could quickly go and change out the filament and have a 2-color, 3-color print.
Oh, I see.
You can identify layers and say, stop at this layer, let me go do my thing, and then come back into it. There's a bunch of other little things with scripts that I haven't played too much around.
Yeah.
But there is an end script where it says what happens when you're done. Like basically turn everything off so that it's done. So if you're gone on vacation and you started a print for 24 hours, you know that when you come back, everything's turned off. So those are the ending and starting scripts. Speeds is something that I've been playing with. So a lot of my prints are a lot slower than others because I like to run it just a tad slower, and I tend to get a little bit better layers and things that are going on. So it's done. It's usually like about 1800. I have it at 1000. Some of this.
What does it go up to? What kind of RPMs are we talking about? This baby can pull.
It could go really fast.
Just like do 10,000.
There is no way I'm gonna do it in that, but it will go to 10,000.
Yeah. See, it'd be
like,
it'll be fine. No, yeah.
We're keeping that on 1,000
because it wouldn't dry it quick enough, right? Or it couldn't push it out even fast enough.
You're absolutely on point.
Yeah.
See, you're already a 3D printer, Ryan.
Hey, you know what? I'm learning from the best.
But the best amateur you can know. The best of everyone you know, the 3D
Anyone
prints.
that I know, the 3D prints, you're the damn best.
Other than advanced, I have no clue what they do, so I'm not going to pretend like I know. All right, so you got that. I've spent a crap ton of time when I saw this. If you're new to this game, like, don't be freaked out about it. Use defaults and then tweak when you start finding things. This is not one of those things where you're like, I'm going to go change everything.
Right.
What you do is tune it into exactly the details you need, and then slowly, like an experiment, you do 1 or 2 things at a time and say, okay, what does that do? And you're going to have to print a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff's going to fail.
Is that because, like, because it's so precise down to the millimeter that, like, the angle and just way that your own printer is requires these to be, like, very fine-tuned in? So somebody who had this exact printer wouldn't be printing at extruder diameter 0.40 nanometers or whatever.
It could be this case. Now, in that particular area, you would probably keep it around that, but
sure.
Depending on your printer and what modifications or whatever you have, it's going to be a little different.
Okay.
So we spent plenty of time on this menu. Let's get into the core of where we're at.
Print that shit. I need him. I need him mounted.
All right, we're going to run with Pet G. So what we jump into, first of all, is prepare for print. And it's going to say which one we want to do. And we're not even sending it to printer right now. All we're doing right now is we're saying, what is this going to look like we're print? So it processes it beforehand, so you can start identifying what's going to go on with the print. So you can watch the entire print before it prints.
Cool.
So you're able to say, like, as I slowly scroll through this, I don't see any overhangs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does it call out things that it says, like, oh god, this is gonna screw up real bad?
So if you look on this right hand side here, there's
blue.
There's
so it's like blue is good.
Speeds. That's the speed.
That's just slow.
But then you can change this to like feature type. So for instance, right here, if there's a bridge, so a bridge means that you have 2 things that go up and you're actually printing between 2 points, you would see yellow. So if we go through this, I don't think I'm going to see any yellow. There's no bridging in this entire thing. And notice how it has a slight angle and it just builds the whole thing. So we can do this without supports. This is a supportless kind of gig right here.
I've done great building it.
You've done amazing. And then you see this, and we're looking at an 1 hour and 6 minute build,
hey,
Ryan.
Holy shit, it's perfect.
It is exactly right.
Oh my god, it
we're
couldn't be more.
We're at 9:47, so what? We've been in this stream for
an hour.
So
and we got an hour for it to print and an hour to play video games.
So
fuck yeah.
Welcome to the show. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take a brief intermission because I got to go to the bathroom and I got to get re-upped on some of these things. So
look at the amount of drinks I have in front of me. You think I don't need a bio break?
I don't absolutely. But before we do that, I think what would be really nice to do...
We got to throw to our sponsor. Let's talk about Squarespace.
Yes. Dude, why would you even call out Squarespace? Fuck that place. Or unless you're going to give us money, then...
Yeah, then we welcome Squarespace, our overlords of the internet.
All right, so I don't even know where we're at as far as like what's camera angle we're on. All right, we're on the dashboard right now. So a little prelude to what we're about to do is we're about to jump into some Halo.
Right. Because we were printing a Halo thing.
Absolutely. We didn't even talk about this.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about this. We're printing a Halo thing because we're going to play Halo 1, which Adam and I were gods at when it was only our select group of friends and the surrounding people in your neighborhood who could play Halo with you. And of course we became far less sophisticated in it as we went on and started facing the internet. But before then, Halo CE or Halo Combat Evolved was our video game of choice, and we spent multiple hours and have beaten on Legendary in every way that Halo CE could be bent over and beaten. And I would say probably have whole sections of this game memorized.
Absolutely.
One of my favorite games, top 3 games, I would have to say, in my entire repertoire of games, I would put it. And I think we just want to play it. We just want to play it and talk about it and talk about the time when Halo was big, what we were doing, all that history behind it. I think it's going to be amazing. I have not played Halo in years at this point, and we're going to play through the remastered version.
The remastered Halo 1 now actually have an Xbox original.
Oh, man.
And the original Halo.
Wow.
But when I pulled it out to set it up for the stream tonight, it was on component. They didn't have
Ooh,
HDMI.
yeah, nope.
So I don't even have. I only have an HDMI kind of converter here, and so
You also have to check that battery. Have you seen the capacitor stuff that happens to original Xboxes? They can
I didn't
explode.
hear this. Oh,
They can
Wait.
leak in.
inside of the Xbox itself, because I did get a replacement plug for it,
Oh.
but I don't know about inside of it.
No,
so.
it's like a specific part of it that you have to go and look at.
Well, maybe in a future one we'll actually
We'll break down an
load-
original Xbox and we'll see if Adams has a ticking time bomb here.
As an actual side note, I have a book on how you melt the Xbox to get to the motherboard on originally how to mod that thing. And I was like, this is crazy.
Melt
I
it?
am never going to do that. Yeah, because he had to melt some parts of the board off to be able to like study it to be able to hack it or
What
some
the fuck?
crap.
That
Dude,
some it
was ridiculous.
Yeah,
And I was like,
some
I was
early
like,
internet bullshit.
This is not a this is like a book that I literally bought. I was like, right when it said melting
Bought at
motherboards.
Barnes, like I
I
went
was
to
like,
Barnes and
all
Noble
right.
and I bought this book on melting my Xbox to get to the motherboard. Wow. All right, bio
right.
break.
Well, bio break after this. We got to finish this part,
shit.
and then before you have
right,
to get
because
to
it
the
hasn't even started.
No, we got to get this part done, so we got to get to it. So, last step. We just looked at it. Everything's looking good. We got an hour, 6 minutes. So, what we want to do is we want to save this. And so, what we want to save it to is our storage device. So, I got this Creality. I'm running Creality. So, I call my thing this. A little naming convention for myself is I like to put how many of them if I'm going to do like a full set or if I'm doing a single one.
Okay.
So, in this case,
single.
I would call this...
This is 101.
Probably Halo 101, and I would say instead of full, I'd do custom. Or like custom Spark.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. That's a great name. Custom Spark. I love that.
And then I always, just for my own good, throw on what type it is. And we might not even see this on the actual printer because you only have a certain amount of space you can see this.
Sure.
But what I'm doing is I'm saving this to an SD card right now. And so we've got it saved to the SD card. We've done everything on the computer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Actually, let's just go to the full. I'm gonna move around here.
Okay.
So you can kind of stay there, right? So
Yeah.
the first thing is I'm gonna.
I'll do some
You
narration.
don't want to hit them in this middle here.
Okay.
So I got the SD card. We got the SD card, and you want to hit the GoPro in just a second. We can talk about that. Is I'm gonna throw the card right into this thing, and now you're gonna hear maybe a really terrible sound.
Oh God, it does sound terrible.
And what that sound is the printer's fan or some fan, and it's gonna go away. This is not a full-time thing. It's basically warming up. But if you look on the screen, like if we go to let's go to the nozzle. So you can see on the nozzle at the very top there, that's the readout on our screen. And the idea is that I actually have a webcam pointing at the readout on our screen, and then I use some other effects to be able to embed it and put it
You're
over top
nuts.
of things.
That's amazing.
So you can see all the things that we're doing as we walk
It's a
through.
dirty
some of this.
nozzle, though, my friend.
So
Dirty nozzle.
when it's clean in the first print, it looks so good. It does. I swear to God. And you can't keep it. Your nozzle is going to get dirty.
Oh man,
See,
yeah.
it's how
Well,
it's going to be.
you know.
So one of the first steps that you're going to see, and we're going to keep it on this menu just because that's there, is I just clicked in the thing, and there's a bunch of different things that you can do on this printer. And so, Ryan, I'm going to have you hit it to the GoPro in just a second. Not yet.
Okay.
But what I want to do is I'm going to I would want to print from the card, but before we do that, there's a couple things that I need to do on here. And so one of the first things that I always do when I get this printer out is I'm going to prepare it, and I'm going to auto home it. So go ahead and hit it on GoPro. And when I hit that auto, it's going to adjust basically where the center point is. It needs to do some measurements. So it's going up and down, and if you want to hit nozzle, you can kind of hit that guy there. And you're going to see this is going to go down. So it's basically measuring, and you could see this get very close to the bed in just a second. It's going to be like
Ooh.
perfectly tuned in to microns.
Wow.
So it's been...
I mean, it's got to be microns, right? That's what we're working
It's got to
at
be
that
microns
point.
here. So we've got that basically adjusted. So the
Cool.
next step, what I need to do, and that's cool, you can do this, is we're going to go, and I'm going to do a printout on the card that we just put in here. So if you want to cut over to the nozzle, so I think we can just see at least what's on the screen, is that I'm going to the print, and we're going to go find what we have. There it is, our Halo Custom Spark. But we don't see the end of it. I wish it would scroll. I'm sure there's something I can do that. But I'm going to just click that, and it's going to hit off onto the next steps of our process. So This is a perfect place for a break because what we got to wait for is you see at the top of the screen where it says 65.
Yeah.
Right underneath it says 23. That number has to reach 65 before the bed is heated.
Oh.
And then to the left of that, the thing that looks like a nozzle, that's going to hit up to 248, and it's going to heat up to that. Now, that one's a quick one.
Sure.
But the bed is going to take a second, and so perfect time for you to just hang out and watch this thing heat up, and then we're going to jump back in just a little bit and get into some Halo.
Sounds awesome. I can't wait.
That's cool. Is this my phone?
I have other questions
that's
too,
you.
but that's my phone.
It's your phone. Yeah, fair enough. You bet. Oh, wait, it's over here. I know where it's at. Pretty sure this thing's still running, so we're gonna re-up on some beer, going in with the fat tire, and I'm gonna re-up Ryan here with some Welch's. This guy drinks his damn bubblies. I'm a LaCroix drinker all day long. All right, we're still heating up. All right,
Ready to
so
print?
first of all, I got my belt here to open our new beers.
Oh,
Because
I see. I didn't know where that was going.
Yeah.
Your belt just opened beers?
My belt is like
Oh.
sweet. It has this like thing on it. It was the only beer opener that I had available.
So you weren't even wearing that belt. You just went and got that belt
Went
from your
and-
closet.
Got the belt to be able to open the beers. All right. So important
Wow.
step here
Yes.
is if you hit orders in the nozzle, I'm going to have you start cutting for me.
Okay.
Is that if you go, okay, we're at nozzle, you're going to see it move in just a second. Get ready to cut to GoPro. So you can cut to GoPro. So what's happening right now is it's going to go through a quick process, and I'm going to try to grab this if I can.
What are you? You're grabbing something?
Yeah.
Wait. I want to see the.
Go to the nozzle.
Yeah.
So that on the nozzle, I'm trying to just get
That little
off.
tail.
I got it.
What was that?
It's just a little bit of the drizzle of things. So hit to the GoPro because we're going to do an interesting thing right now. Oh wait, actually, go ahead and go to the nozzle. Looks like, okay, so what I got to do is tune it right now. So,
Ooh.
ooh, it got stuck. I'm going to have to redo that. So,
Oh.
no, that's okay. So what we're going to test right now is how far it needs to go, and actually we might be okay. So what you just saw is it got stuck on a thing on the side, one of these little clamps that I have. So if you go to the full,
Yeah. Hold on. GoPro.
yeah. So what I have is these clamps that are on the side, and so I had one that was up here, and it went so far to the side that the little vent got stuck on the side of it, and I should have moved it a little bit to the side.
I see.
So what's funny is what you're seeing right now is it just took it off of its actual course of where it should be. Go to the nozzle for a second. And so I'm going to tune this in and see how I'm going down a little bit. I was down by, on the screen it says negative 1.
Point
Zero-
one- point 199, and it was 0.099.
Right. So look at that nozzle and how it's laying down that filament right now.
Yeah.
That is about exactly where I want to be. So what I'm doing is
Right.
I'm doing what's called a baby Z, and what it's just doing is microns of adjustment. And to be honest, this is the reason why I put this camera on here, is to see what was happening at that
How
level.
would you not be able to do? How would you be able to do this at all with no camera?
Because
You would just stop it.
you could see it, and if you look
Oh,
at it
sure.
from
I
this
get-
angle,
yeah,
you can kind of see
okay.
it enough. But this gives me like
Yeah.
a much
Way
deeper look at it.
So
and
much
so
better.
what I'm just looking at right now is I always look at that first layer. So you saw those outside layers, that's the skirt. Those,
So it's already past the skirt.
it's past the skirt.
It's
We're-
doing the real thing.
we are doing the thing right now. And so it is going to be
343.
very
you
small.
fucking bastard! I'm gonna have your head soon.
That's right. So from my point of view, or at this point, that little glitch of it getting stuck was really not a great thing. But
It was on the stupid skirt, so who gives a shit, right?
So here's what's funny about this is it just completely push. Go ahead and go to GoPro. This should be in the exact center, and now it's off to the side a little
Oh.
bit. And so it should just be acclimated to that side, and there
Okay.
shouldn't be any problems.
Sure, it's not so big.
It's
that-
not a big issue that but in the future I should probably watch those little things. So let's kick on to the nozzle just for a second. What I want to do is
Oh, see, it's getting see how it does that little there's a little extra piece right there.
Yep.
Right. So that seems like a mistake,
it does.
but it won't really mess it up because it's just enough of that it'll just glue over the top of it and you'll be fine.
So you got to think that nozzle at this point is 248 degrees.
Yeah.
And so it is
It's hot.
burning hot. So when so there's a little piece that's hanging
Yeah.
off the side there.
Yeah.
So watch what happens when
I
you
want
get
to see
to this
it. I'm gonna
piece
get it
right here.
covered up. Fuck you, little mistake. I'm gonna cover you up with perfect symmetrical lines. Oh, I can't wait. This is gonna be. Oh no, it's gonna shove it out of the way.
No, it's because
The
when
perception
so
was-
when you get to the next layer, it
Oh.
will adjust it. So this is a good example of what happens with 3D printing. So you're seeing this at a very micro scale. If you look at this, that's not even negotiable on the actual overall print.
Right. Yeah.
So what's going to
pretty
happen
enlarged.
is at some point, and this is where all that black stuff gets on your nozzle.
Yeah.
And so, of course, at this scale, I'm always like, oh god, I should try to pull that off with some tweezers.
But it's the size of like a nail clipping, right?
It's so minuscule that it's not going to
Yeah.
even matter.
Right.
But
Okay.
we're laying down really good filament. Like, I'm
Great.
super cool with
It looks
not
good.
ever looking at anything. The only thing I do is I commit that change. So here's something that's interesting. If you commit, so we're at negative 0.199. So I say, okay, I want that.
Yeah.
If I go back to Z-step, it's zeroed out.
Ooh, that's tough for knowing where you're at.
So if you do any adjustments, make sure you know where you're at.
Burn.
The rest of this now just shows kind of all the different pieces of this.
This is another $250 program that you had to buy
For what?
to get it, this whole. I was just gonna say like this the. How much of this is like the printer that you originally purchased, and how much of this is like
Oh no, this is
third-party stuff that you purchased to go with it?
I only spent probably around $150, $200 in enhancements, and then like
You're full of shit.
because I printed all the enhancements.
Ah, come on. This whole thing?
Yeah.
You just said this was a $300 program that we're printing in.
So the we should look it up. We should call out my shit.
Call out your shit. Here, wait. Let me
let me
move
see.
over.
I'm gonna get on. I'm
Give
getting
you the
back on here.
captain's seat back.
Yeah, let's check this out. How much does Simplify 3D cost? Because that's a good thing. I could have sworn it was like $250 at least. But let's see.
Simply 3D, the professional 3D printing software.
Pro, dude.
It's
You gotta
pro.
go with the
You're
pro.
pro.
So buy now. $149.
Yeah, is that like what?
That's it. I
Hey.
overstated.
Wow. See, you were. That was like the budget. That was like the budget that you wrote in for the department. You were like,
You know what?
yeah,
That
it's
was
like
my-
$250. It's like $250.
Yeah, I could have sworn.
You gotta pad it a little, right? So you can get
I
that
think I
other
lied
stuff.
to myself when I said it. I was like, "That's like $250. That's
Worth it.
ridiculous."
If it was $250, I wouldn't pay a dime for it. But $150, sure.
And so I probably talked myself up like,
That's
this kind of shit. This is
that's-
inflation. That was
that's-
inflation prices when I bought this,
Yeah,
Ryan.
exactly.
This is pandemic prices.
Yeah,
Come on.
you know,
man.
I have to. I'm helping the economy. Get
Okay,
back
let's
on
just
its
take
feet.
this. So $150 for the program, and there's another program called Kira that's free and does almost all
Okay.
the same stuff. The thing that this program apparently does that I love the most, and why I did it, and I'm just going to quickly show you before we jump into this and we're into Halo,
Yeah.
is I go to this tool, and you can do manually place supports. So I could put that support there, and so with this support...
Can't do that with the other program?
No, not to like...
I thought you were combining all you're doing is
Oh,
combining shapes together?
in that program you can, but what this is, and watch what you'll see in just a second, is if I'm in the slicer program. I'm not in the Tinkercad program.
Okay.
So you brought in some crazy model from online that somebody else did that you suck at doing,
Sure.
and it doesn't have supports.
Right.
So you're not going to go be able to import it in Tinkercad because, for number one, it's too big to do that.
It was probably built to be a 3D model and like a 3D animated whatever,
Exactly.
and not 3D printed.
So you bring it in here, and you need to build the support system to be able to print this thing. So, like, just even for an example, if you were to take this and you took this thing, well, I guess I don't know, it would be Z or X. I guess let's do 180 here.
Oh God, it's gone forever. It disappeared into the ether. Undo that.
Oh shit!
Fuck. You're lucky that it's already printing because
where would it go? How did
it's
how did
underneath.
how did it go underneath like that? 180. Oh,
But still.
because it's an X rotation. Why would that
Okay.
be like that? Doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, that's because X is what?
You're on Z is where it's going up and down right now, right? Because that shows the plane that you're on.
Did I just grab it by accident
I don't know.
and like pull it?
I mean, that sounds like something dumb you
Yeah, I mean, good thing there's thing. Well, I just fucked up the whole
thing.
demo. So
But, you know,
you know
whatever.
what? Fuck it. We're gonna go into
Just close
Halo.
it. Just be like, don't
Fuck all
save.
this
Don't
shit.
save.
You know what? I wasn't even streaming that. God damn it! I wasn't even on
The whole
screencast.
time.
I
The
wasn't
whole
even-
time
I wasn't
was.
on
Hey,
screencast.
your
We're
screw up.
learning.
Your
We're
screw up
learning.
was
We're learning.
Wasn't even
We're learning.
on tape.
We're learning things. Okay, you could tell that we just went piss and took another beer. So let's not make this more of a debacle. We got 4 viewers right now.
Hey.
Oh, we got Disturbed Shifty watching us out
Nice.
there. What's up, Disturbed?
Hey.
I know you used to play Halo with us back in the day. Now you're like a Destiny.
That's right.
He's all into Destiny.
Yeah. Disturbed was there back in the days, taking CRT monitors, heavy fucking
At his
CRT
house.
monitors.
Remember?
Was
it was at fucking his
Wow.
house, dude.
That's amazing.
Thank
Shout
you
out.
for joining. We're gonna play some Halo in a minute here,
Yeah.
so you gotta check this shit out for sure. All right, you see some things on there. I'm gonna figure out how to get Halo on the screen. I'm pretty sure we can do this. All right, here we go. Let's try this.
Switch it. Use that switcher.
I do have a switcher.
I feel like that is very slick.
The switcher?
Yeah, the Stream Deck switcher.
Yeah, it's pretty OP. This
It
is my
looks-
Elgato.
See, goddamn it! These are all things that I've heard about. You have a sweet setup here. Is Elgato free?
Elgato? No, that's what the.
Oh, that's.
That's.
I thought it was the software that played with it.
It is a like. It is what do you call it? Encoder. You can get the encoder for that.
I see.
So,
Encoder. That makes sense.
there's encoders and they have lights.
Well, yeah, Elgato is a whole brand at this point, but I think before it was just like a streaming software that you used. I don't
Yes.
know.
No, I don't think it. Shit, I don't even know it was software. I've never used it as software.
Hmm.
All right, so what we're gonna do? Let's like. Oh,
Maybe
he
I'm
has still MCC.
He still has the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah.
Oh,
You trying to jump into? Can you do 4 players on? You can't because we're doing local co-op today. We'll do a live stream with
we
you.
gotta do something like that at some point.
We will live stream with you online some of these days. Disturbed. We're doing a playthrough on Classic today of Halo 1, and so we're talking about with one of our friends who jumped on the stream that was kind of checking out what's going on. So just a quick little demo of what you're going to see at the top. You got the 3D printing. We're watching. What are we printing again? It's Cortana Guilty Spark kind of plug thing.
Yeah, it's a 343 Guilty Spark head mounted on a plaque that is Cortana's chip that we shove into her head. Where she's like, "Yank me," and we shove it into the back of.
I think we should watch the clip.
That's
I think
true.
I think we
Let's
should
just
watch
start
the
from
clip.
beginning.
Okay,
Dude, I bet on normal we power through this shit. Don't you think?
I mean, it's totally. Now here's the deal.
You start this because I feel like I was backing out or doing something. Something wasn't working. But I was doing.
Well, if I go into this anniversary now, like we talked about before, we wish we were doing this on the original Xbox. Okay,
Yeah, that would be fun.
we will do that.
That's what I want. I want like a Duke controller, right? The gigantic Duke controller, and I just want to play Halo.
Wait,
Halo
and
CE.
we're gonna do that. All right, let's jump into the.
Am I in this? I'm in this.
You are in there. Okay, so here's the little backstory: is we're gonna have to use Master Chief Collection, but one time we're gonna actually pull the old Bumblebee controllers out and play some like legit my original Halo disc with our saves and stuff, and we'll see how glitchy and crazy that is.
This is how into Halo we were. How sad is this? I had my first job outside of college. I was working at Grand Signs. I had just figured out how to use their sort of like thermal printer that would print onto vinyl. And so I printed out our gamer tags with little icons to go onto the top. So I measured it out. And I sort of stuck them to the top. Like, you could peel them off and stick them to the top of your thing. And it had, like, mine and yours. And I think there was, like, Sam's. It was, like, egg or something.
Oh, shit. Wait, hold on a second. We need to go.
Of course Adam Pocious has this.
I got it. I
this
think I have to
freaking
have
thing.
them.
Of course. There was no way I was going to mention some obscure thing. And Adam would just have it, like, in arm's reach. Are you fucking kidding me?
There's those
Man.
stickers.
That's amazing. It's like a museum in this freaking room, Adam.
I gotta let
It's like a monument to our youth. It's amazing. I love it.
Thank you for
That's awesome. There's something about, because I am like the least nostalgic person in the entire world. Like, I will just throw away anything and be like, yeah, I took a fucking picture of it or whatever. But like Adam Poches is like dedicated.
Dude,
in a
it's
way.
like I've kept an archive of like almost every single time we've drank together or something, at least beer
Seriously.
caps or something.
I
All right,
know.
we got to focus our attention here because
Yes.
what we want to do on this screen
Ooh.
is I want to turn on.
Grunt birthday party.
Do we want to
obviously.
Explode heads? That's
Yes,
fine.
because-
Okay,
well-
that's fine. Well,
Which is the one that gives
More
I want
shit.
more dialogue.
more dialogue. That's the only
always
one.
that's always the fun one because like I want to hear the random. I want to hear the unused. Even though I thought about this before because I have been putting that on for forever. That like, am I now hearing the unused dialogue more than I'm hearing the normal dialogue?
Oh, that's true. Does it do that? Which one is it? Disturbed? Are you still there? Which is the?
Yeah, he's gonna be on like a 30-second delay.
That's all right, but it reads it.
Which
It
one-
says it right
which
there.
one are you-
No flinch attacks.
What are you looking
I would have
for?
been your daddy. No, that's the that's Grunt birthday party. But what's
Grunt birthday party is
what's the one with
Head
more
exploding. Dialogue.
dialogue? Shit, is it not in this one? Because this is Halo CE. Was there skulls in CE?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said it's I would have been your daddy. So which one is that? Pinata, Grunt. Is it not in here? Am I being stupid right
Just
now?
go left.
Because I thought those were scoring ones. There's non-scoring and scoring. I feel like this is Halo CE. Extra. No skulls in the original game. Yeah, that's what I thought. So there's no extra dialogue.
That's weird.
That's Halo 2. So
Sure.
things
Whatever.
that you can think about with this game is think about not having really good shooters. Like I think the only shooter that I really even gave a shit about before Halo was GoldenEye.
100%.
Like that was it. I loved the times with that. And so when Halo came out, and to me, let's go ahead and get this thing started. We're gonna play on normal. We're just gonna
We're doing normal. I
wait.
feel
What are we
like-
doing? Mission 2? We don't want to do that one. We want to do assault, truth and reconciliation. What do you think?
Yeah. That's great.
All right,
I
we're
love
jumping
that.
into truth,
Yeah.
reconciliation. What we're gonna do is we're gonna try to get into truth and reconciliation, and then we're gonna do a silent cartographer thing that I want to do. We're
Yeah.
playing on classic only. This is classic only because
This is old school. We're doing
We
it
have-
for the nostalgia. We're doing it for the remembrance, and we got to do it in classic. I can't updated visuals. What is that?
yeah, it's bullshit. Because we spent a lot of. I think I played Halo is the most I've played a game ever in my life.
Yeah.
And it's because you know what, we were
Yeah.
gonna watch the intro for the pull it from her head. Let's just check that out. It's always good. Let's see.
That is good.
Because we're 3D printing this today, so we gotta at least
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah. We gotta
that
watch
part.
her. We gotta watch.
We're
her
in
pull.
for it. So this is gonna be the pain in the ass. Is that I think it's gonna show it in the new school. I think this is something that I don't really like
Oh,
about
the
it.
cutscenes are in the remastered.
I have it
and-
set to classic, so this is a loading screen. Let's
Yeah,
see. Let's see.
they might force it.
I hope they don't.
That sucks because I love that.
No,
old-
that's old school.
I don't know. The
That
new
is
one
old
does not.
school.
The new one does not look great. I feel like so. It does look pretty shitty. So that could be old school.
No, it's look. I can't even tell.
Now I can't even tell.
That
I think
looks-
that's
old.
old. Yeah, I
That
think
is
that's
old as
Okay,
shit.
cool. Hey, great. I love the boxy version. I hate the new version of keys. Oh man, he looks
Oh.
like a wiener.
Well, and I think all the actual.
Yeah, this is sweet. This is the old version.
The thing I don't like about the new version, and I don't know if you noticed it,
Cortana, all I need to know is did we lose them?
I think
Is
we both
everything
know the
super
answer to
bright?
that.
there's no
Right.
need for a flashlight in
Yeah.
the game, and I think that's like a mood tone setting thing about this game that I always appreciated.
Yeah, old school. Love it. Look at this fucking jaw.
We made a
Ah,
blind
he's like
jump. How did they?
super-
Get here
Superman's
first,
dad.
The Covenant ships have always been faster.
He
As
looks
for
great.
tracking us all
That's
the
a
way
great
from
keys.
Reach, at light speed, my
Question:
maneuvering
how do you get in those
options were
damn
limited.
seats?
like
We were running
you sort of
together,
like
yeah.
slide in. I think it
You
probably
think it comes
rotates
in?
out. It rotates
Subspace.
out. The panel rotates out.
I like the keys. The
They were waiting for us
fingers
on
on
the
the
far
lip.
side of
He
the
look, it's good. It's like him
So,
studying it. He's part
Our
of the
fighters are
ship.
mopping up the last of their recon picket now. Nothing
See,
serious.
Apparently, we just downloaded
But our
Halo 3
isolated
multiplayer,
approach
by the way.
Alright.
solutions for
But,
multiple CCS class
look at that
battle
pipe.
groups make
Yeah, oh
it
yeah, I
difficult
love
to
that.
secure
Foreboding, Ryan.
And in about 90 seconds,
Foreshadowing?
they'll be all over us.
Sure.
Oh, that's it.
I'm
I
not
think
well.
foreboding is
Backup
like a
combat
scary
royale.
thing that's coming
Want
towards you.
everyone
It's
at
like
the station.
foreboding.
Everyone's
Could
up?
that be
Yeah.
foreboding and foreshadowing?
It could be if it was scary enough and
Yeah,
it was
Cortana.
something that was going to be called back later on.
So let's just throw that.
Okay,
out.
how hot
Okay.
is this Cortana in the series? What's your level of
It's
attraction? to
Android
Cortana?
hot. And that's the thing that I think all the other Cortanas are sexualized. This is the most unsexualized
Yes,
Cortana, and I
100%.
love it.
Yes, I agree. Because like the more sexualized you make it, the more it just like is embarrassing.
Absolutely.
More than sexualized. And I'm getting turned
Why
on
do you
by
put
it.
sexual features on a fucking Android anyway? She's not. It's not even a she.
Well, it's like I think they choose it, right? Like from the Halo books that I've read, for God's sake.
Okay, so you have some
I-
credentials here. I didn't know you were gonna bring our Halo
Reach,
PhD.
I think I Reach, and then there was maybe a couple more that I read in the heyday. But yeah, I agree. I mean, it was for it was because the obvious pandering to 13-year-old boys. Okay, wait.
We are leaving this ship platoon and engaging the Covenant on solid ground. When we meet the enemy, we will rip their skulls from their spines and toss them away, laughing. Am I right, Marines? Sir, yes.
Yes, sir. Hell yeah.
Right, I am.
Sarge,
Damn right I am.
He's great.
So good. Such a good.
If you're not
character.
familiar, if you play with a different difficulty
All you
level, you
green
get a
horns who
different.
wanted to
That's
see
right.
Covenant up
I
close.
do. Yeah,
This
that's
is gonna be
right.
your lucky day.
Oh, that's cool. God, Halo was good, man.
Did you? I'm no Halo like, whatever biographer, autobiographer, whatever the hell you call it. But there's some interesting, crazy stuff about how they barely got this together at the last minute, and it was nuts.
You know, like that's also every video game ever, right?
But
like,
think
getting
about
it
how
thrown
epic
together.
this game was at the
Yeah.
time to launch the Xbox. What came out at the time of the Xbox? This is the Mario of Xbox.
Right. Yes. 100%. It was the game defining what made you have to buy an Xbox, right? It wasn't. Even though, do you know what game I bought an Xbox for?
What's that?
Fusion Frenzy.
Oh my god, that's lame.
Oh, see, we didn't get to do the calibration. Although it's like, oh, Chief, look up.
that's
You know, like look up in
two-player.
the thing. Are we gonna be able to get through this in an hour?
We're not gonna play this. We're gonna, what we're gonna do is we're gonna just jump to a part where we need to use our flashlight. I need to figure out my controls.
Yeah, right. No weapon.
This is just control figure out. And we're gonna go play True. We wanted to see Cortana. That was good enough.
How do I duck?
You have to push the button. I think it's. I have mine set to the Duke. Set your controller to the Duke.
Set my controller to the Duke.
Yeah. Go to the Duke. Go to settings. And then go to controls. Gamepad down one and hit select.
Gamepad.
Yeah. This is. You just don't fuck that reclaimer shit. Go down to button layout and go to the Duke. Wait, do they? Yeah. Go to that Halo C and then go down. There should be one called the Duke. You might actually.
Green
you're good.
thumbs.
Where's the Duke?
Where does it say freaking crouch is? I don't think my
Crouch is clicking.
Yeah, no, I don't
Right
think
click.
I don't think that was
Left
working.
click. That's a good click, dude.
necessarily.
You were? Are you sure you're on the right one? You
We're
have to hit
fine.
save.
We're fine.
All right, Ryan's gonna figure this out. This is.
Discard those changes. How do I do that? Discard. Line save.
All right, now you have it on like reverse angles. Make sure you can goddamn play. Where are you at?
It's like flight controls or something. So up is down and down is
All
up.
right.
Do you ever play with that? I mean, do you ever,
I
have you
cannot
ever?
play with that.
Yeah, you have normal controls, right? You're not like reverse.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know what I play. All I know is that I know what I don't like.
When you're running down this hall, are you pushing full up? Are you pushing like up on the new pad? Yeah. So that's. God, I love these guys. Man, you know what? There are certain things, and I will say that that the original Halo got in character work and just sort of like the random side guys and Marines in it that was amazing. That was way better than the even any Halo past that.
And you're saying like just like the mannerisms?
No,
or-
because how I like it is that they're not as purposeful as some of the new Halo Marines.
Like
and
needed?
things. Like those they're almost like too good, right? They're too like, how do I turn this freaking flashlight off?
I don't know. You're on some
They-
ridiculous reclaimer bullshit.
It's fine.
That's,
All right. So, because I feel like they're too like staged, right? It's like a play. Like they're so into the animations of everything and the storyline of it. It's not just people running around spouting off little lines and I don't know. I just feel like there's an immersion in that isn't in storyline based stuff when they're trying so hard.
No thanks to your driver.
This is a great game, Ryan.
Yeah.
It's something that I think we've hit a really good
Report.
It must have been one of
moment
their
in
boarding
time because it's pretty epic in terms of the other games that it's inspired, because I think we get lost in the fact that it's become almost like a cliche to
Right.
do things that
And
this
there's
game
been plenty
established.
of bad Halo games for sure. Like, not even necessarily playing poorly, but like storylines and characters and directions that they put. Like, there's been some what I think is like poor choices in that.
This holds together in a really epic place, and like, you know, if you've seen the end and you've gone through this
Sure.
times,
Which everyone
which
has.
which
I'm not
they
even,
haven't,
like-
right? Because like you got to think about who's getting to the games now, and
Yeah,
we're old.
that's true.
I'm 40 years old. We're 40 years old, and like a lot of kids started at 2 and 3. That was their introduction to Halo, and it was because of multiplayer.
Right.
And so they may have just acknowledged that there was a Halo, but this is a game that I don't think a lot of people have played as much as we have played.
That's
and like
true.
thinking about that, because Halo
Right.
2 is the introduction to like online Xbox Live
Right.
multiplayer.
Yeah.
We played multiplayer on this.
Oh
But
wait, is she gonna yank me? Hold on.
Oh, okay. Let's get into this.
Listen, but I'd suggest letting my subroutines handle the final approach.
Excellent work, Cortana.
We're gonna see what you printed out.
Yeah. See, here she is. She's taking her last little look.
Yank me.
Boom. I want to see it.
Good
There's
luck.
Cortana. Mount your fucking head there. 343 Guilty Spark. Put you on my wall. Boom.
All
The
right.
architecture isn't much different from the Autumns.
I think we should kill a grunt, and then we're gonna go and start assault in the control room.
Yeah. Hey,
Or
I
silent
like assault.
cartographer.
Whatever you want to do. How much
Oh,
time
oh.
does the print have left?
So this is a good thing. So you see in the upper corner there, it says that we're at 35 minutes, and we're at 1 hour and 6 minutes for the print.
So we're like half an hour in.
So we're half
I
an
think
hour.
we should just do silent cartographer then.
Okay. We're gonna try to jam it in. Is that what we're gonna try to do?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Alright.
'Cause I feel like I played definitely one of the things that I enjoyed about this game was the more like mastering of the single player walkthrough. Like, I love the single player in this game, and when you didn't have online yet, you had to play it single player if you wanted to play it. And so one of the things of going through is just like I loved playing it through and being like methodical and getting every single person and doing stuff. What I didn't do a lot of is like the other things that Halo CE is famous for, which is like the weird physics glitches in this game, right? Like the taking a warthog and throwing 3 frag grenades underneath it, and then or like the plasma grenades first because they cooked a little longer, and then throwing the frag grenades underneath, right? And so then you're like, all right, and then it would blow it up, and you try to land it on top of the freaking rock wall or something. And I never really did any of that. I was more like into the story. I want to play through it. I want to master like the lines and
Well,
everything.
and the thing with that too, and I don't. When you're gonna play, and you're gonna see in a second, you always forget the grenade physics in this thing.
Or
They're crazy because grenades blow up grenades.
yeah,
And that's
which
never
is
been
nuts.
repeated.
Like,
So
because it's insane. Like, there's no way that you would build a game and like consciously think about being like, well, I'll just let other grenades blow up other grenades. And that'll be a fun experience for everyone. With enemies that are dropping 3 and 4 grenades at a time.
It makes you throw a grenade and just run the other direction every single time. So we're gonna be storming the beach here. This is storm grenade. I like this. This is a good storm.
See, I already threw a grenade because the freaking, you know, they have moved over. The Halo has taken because Halo was big in that click in the right stick to. And I remember that was my preferred way of doing it for a long time, but I think because just I was a Halo freak, right? Yeah. Whereas they adopted the Call of Duty stuff, you know, which is aim down the sights is your left trigger.
Yep.
And then and eventually Halo gave in. They were like, fine. You know, like that's the way everybody wants to play this shit. This is actually we put this on normal.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like it's playing good.
Oh, yeah, you know
We're
what?
still. Why are we still on the fucking light on? There we go.
Yeah. Oh, that's much better.
Yeah.
I forgot to even put it full screen. Alright. So thanks to Disturb for watching as long as he did. He's
Totally.
he bailed on us.
No,
It's
that's
all
great.
good. He had to go to bed, I bet. What time is it? It's only 10:30. Alright, so what I love about the old dynamics of this game and
Okay,
oh
yeah.
shit, we have to get into the Warthog. I'm here running down the goddamn beach.
What are you doing?
Forgot about this, dude.
Oh god, what's her name? What's the name of the
Foehammer.
Foehammer. The Foehammer dropped off a warthog, a
Okay,
fresh
let's move
warthog
out.
for us.
Let's go find
Like,
a map
get
room
outta
that shows
here.
the location of
Yeah,
Halo's control
passenger.
center.
Remember how like they showed the passenger and gunner?
Can't I?
Yeah. X.
I'm pressing the button X, and it's
It says
turning on
press
my light.
X. Oh
And
shit!
It's turning on my
Because you
light.
turned on it like like Universal Reclaimer or some bullshit.
Look,
hit
but then
this
like
tab.
my up button also turns on the light.
What?
Why would my X button and the up on the D-pad
Maybe
change?
you have a borked ass controller, dude. I'm gonna leave you.
Okay, all right. Well, I gotta change
You gotta
whatever
do
that
something.
is.
See,
That's
take a
not-
minute here. Let's explore the menu structure.
Yeah.
What kind of crazy shit they have? I have something called the Duke.
X. So look, X is flashlight, and also
And up.
up. on
What the
D-pad.
fuck? How do
What?
you need a flashlight that often?
Like of all things to have on
Jesus
multiple
Christ.
buttons.
And on a shitty remake
Okay.
of the game.
I want throw grenade on the left trigger. I want right weapon, right trigger. I want action X and jump A. I want how's the print doing?
No,
Talk about the print while I figure this out.
Yeah, this goddamn this controller shit. No, go to the Duke, dude. The Duke is the way to go. Is there not one called the Duke?
There wasn't one called the Duke.
Wait,
Zoom
back
the
out,
shoe.
back out.
I got this.
Let me do me.
You back out.
Yeah, just I'm not touching anything because you have to go back to the game and I.
Oh,
have to
hold
hit
on,
start.
hold on. I want to change it to.
No, because I want to see what I got and then you can just duplicate it.
Because I set it to some crazy.
Oh, okay. I'm pretty sure there's this one I called the Duke, but I could be completely off base. But no, it works.
You
I'm
try.
telling you.
Wait, the Duke was not. That was like the
The
oldest
Duke!
old school controller, right? The Duke. Button layout. The Duke. So okay, throw grenade left trigger, use weapon right trigger, melee B,
Dude, it's
jump,
perfect. It's like original Halo.
action reload.
You gotta get
Action
to the
reload.
Duke.
Okay, all right, I'm into it. Duke settings.
I don't know how you get to it though because you said you didn't see
Aim
it. It would be on button layout. Trying to navigate menus here. So, okay, on this screenshot, I'm going to probably put the Xbox thing sitting over the top.
Universal green thumbs, bump and jump, zoom and shoot, reclaimer, default, recon, hero.
The Duke!
Oh, there it is.
We have found the Duke. We're back in action. Save that shit. Alright. You saved it. Hit A to return to settings to save, and you're good. Now we can just be out.
And then it keeps saying return to settings.
Oh, it says one or more actions not bound to key. That's fine. Can't you just discard that and then let's hope it's... That's fine, right? We have your flashlight. How did I get the Duke on there with it set for all games? I think I said that. That might be a bad idea.
It's gonna be like set for every single.
So every game you ever play, just can you hit discard changes and see where? Don't buy Halo Anniversary Edition because they don't got their shit together.
Yeah, there we go. So this isn't turning off the light now. It's the action.
Are
It's
you
the
in the
action
Duke?
which says get the fuck out of here.
You're on the Duke.
And look at the, I love, so here's part of this too, which is the jank of Halo CE, right? This dude just trying to get off, like I can push him off a little bit, but I can also just like put the barrel through his body. Those are the parts of
let's
this.
see how far we can take him. Oh, we can't take him anywhere.
Nowhere.
Yeah, you jank, dude. All right, bye, dude. Remember when you could like drive really out to sea? We're not gonna do it. 'Cause that'd be terrible. Oh wait, you don't have health? Oh, that's our passenger.
Yeah. We gotta keep our
Let's
little
just.
marine
You want
alive.
to kill this shit?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Totally. Like I feel
You kill
this
that.
this
we're
this
good,
level
yeah.
is very like jackals heavy, which I always found them to be a very fun character to shoot because of that little the little slot
Shield?
on them,
Oh, yeah.
like where you can shoot. I found that very satisfying to shoot at. That I feel like some of the other games try to
You know what?
replicate, but to not as good.
You're absolutely right. Is that I think all the other games didn't do a great job of the jackals. I felt
It's-
like it was way too much shield work, and it was really more painful.
I always feel like they tried to make it like slightly harder or different, and what they really should have done is just kept it sort of the same and simple, but then put it into more elaborate scenarios, right? Like I feel like they had a good mix of
Get up so I can
elites
kill you
and
again.
grunts and just make the AI smarter, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't need them to have a different crazy headset, and a different whole tactic to kill them.
So they're dropping off some troops here. Do we?
Oh yeah, so go down, right?
Yeah,
Because we
let's
want.
get this stuff because this is actually the part we're going to try to hack.
Okay.
So let's kill these guys.
I'm not sure that I have ever done this. Throughout the entire time that I
You've
have.
been in Halo, so we have to take advantage
Is
of the
that- wait, wait.
checkpoint.
Let me get that for you.
So I'm gonna get this. I'm a jerk, and I get all the things.
Yeah. And I chauffeur your ass around.
Exactly. So I can get
And
the kills.
get all the kills
And
and
I get
score
all the
points.
kills. So I'm getting all the medals. There's no there's no actual XP that you're earning or anything like that. But I am getting all the UNSC medals that Cortana's gonna pin on my manly chest.
So this is a fun part of this is that I'm having a hell of a time. I'm gonna have a hard time getting in this tunnel in a second if I this shit here, right?
Yeah, what the heck? Get it together. Woohoo! Oh, this part's tough. There's no hunter here, right?
This is the easy
This
part.
is the easy side.
So what we want to do is we want to get a good checkpoint.
Yeah, I was gonna say because so why don't you explain what we're trying to do?
So in this next section here, you typically are going to get what do you call it? Like you're gonna get it to a point where you can't move forward. You're gonna have to do a whole part of the other mission of Halo. So these doors are gonna close and
Right.
you're stuck.
There's story. It's basically a storyline bit, right?
Yeah.
It's like you were gonna go down and you were gonna go in and get the key, but the elites and all of the Covenant are already in there and they're ready to lock your ass out.
And so
Checkpoint. So we need a checkpoint.
So
here
we
before.
I think we're gonna get a checkpoint, and I think we've got a
Let's keep
checkpoint.
going
Okay,
inside.
we just got the checkpoint.
Okay.
So here's the trick: is if we fail this, I have to instantly hit start so we could restart from checkpoint, because we can't let it go too far where the next checkpoint
Yeah.
hits.
And
So-
okay, so I want to hear like what's the strategy for
So
getting in here? Is
number
it straight?
so number one, it's very good warthog control, which I'm feeling like I'm really gonna be a little rusty
Oh,
at.
you're like 2 beers in, you're
Yeah.
ready to do this.
So Ryan, you have some
Low battery
low battery.
controller.
Okay, so one of the tricks that I did find is you see the little reticule here.
Yeah.
So I think, honestly, and it's probably fine that you're back there, but you're going to have to die in a second to be able to warp into here. But what I'm going to do is, you don't need to kill anything, is I'm going to try to take a hard left here. Just do it.
Don't let
And I
them
gotta...
lock the
Ah, I
doors.
fucked it up.
Because he closes it that quickly. Like, when
And
does
they
that
just stuck
trigger?
me.
Oh, see? Oh, man.
So I got it in the door. So, okay, I got to start. And we got to do from last checkpoint.
Yeah.
So
Let's keep going.
we're going to
inside.
have a couple opportunities at doing this. And what we're trying to do is that right when we get to the bottom of this thing, we're going to jam ourselves into the door as hard as we can.
Yeah, because in the storyline, that elite or whatever is closing the doors on you and being like,
And we
"Fuck
can't
you,
get in there.
Get out."
And we're going to have to drive up here and go to a whole
You have to go,
different part
yeah,
of
like
the
you gotta
game.
cut across the whole island. And...
Don't let them lock the doors.
But
Oh,
what does a perfect run of this look like? Does he just literally fly through that door?
You
Going
get
inside.
chunked in there. It's like you jump the geometry, and there's just like this sweet spot that you
Okay.
hit, and it
Yeah.
like if you've never done it, you
Right.
call bullshit on it. And
Yeah.
I called a lot of bullshit on it until like it happened. But what happens is you get just jammed enough that you can get out on the other side.
I see. Does the elite on the other side
Does
mess
nothing.
with you? Okay.
Does nothing.
He has no,
sometimes
like,
you
AI.
it's sometimes you kill him. So like I screwed up the turn right here.
Yeah, because they're gonna throw
Don't
like
let them lock
grenades
the
at you
doors.
and stuff, right? Okay, well.
we do.
Well,
So
okay,
you,
sure.
what you don't want to do
Let's keep
if you're
going
trying this
inside.
is you don't want to let that end part go too far.
Right.
And what happens is, if you kill everyone right off the bat, it almost gives you checkpoint.
Oh shit.
And so then you've like surpassed this part and you can't do it again. So
Right.
what I'm finding here is you have to
Don't
like
let them
turn
lock the
right
doors.
here.
that was
Ooh,
good.
So close.
So close.
And like you could try
Let's
it too
keep
because it's
going
not
inside.
something that the war.
Yeah, but I feel like it is good, like, to have. It's like you get the muscle memory for it, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, and switching.
I
it
just
back
don't
and
want to be
forth,
here
so
for
you-
20 minutes.
No,
like,
totally. Well, if you can't handle
let
it,
them lock the
if you
doors.
can't do it, Adam, then we'll just give up and cancel this thing forever. Holy shit! Wait, okay.
no,
we're
don't
in-
kill him! Don't shoot him! Don't shoot him! Don't shoot him!
I'm not shooting him. This dude's shooting.
Oh
him.
god damn it! Get out! And... kill that guy! Okay, he did it.
Yes.
Nice.
All right, okay.
Okay. All right.
So don't go right.
So we don't go right.
So
So
this guy has no.
he's done.
He has no AI. He's just like a breathing, standing character.
So here's the thing: is if you cut
Can't
right
get
over
through
here,
him. Yeah.
you trigger a cutscene.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So, that's
I
the
don't
like
know what
walking
happens.
towards the edge, kicking the stone over the edge. Like it's a dramatic whole like money shot there of how big the interior is.
So let's sneak around this corner here. Okay, so if shit,
Oh, see, they're fine. Now is this guy okay?
you know, it's all gonna go. It's the rest.
Firepower to get
We just skip how
Skip,
much
like,
of the
half
game.
right?
So
Half
if
of this level,
you were
at
doing a
least.
straight run through on this
Oh,
game,
yeah.
I wonder if you could nail that part. Perfect first run.
Like speedrunners who are doing, Halo levels and stuff.
Let's go
for
cut.
sure.
Let's hit that cutscene just because we know we have to do this part now.
Oh, yeah. Will it do the cutscene?
Let's
So,
see.
like the next cutscene.
Oh, it skipped it. Oh shit! There's a guy out here. What the hell is this guy doing? What do you think you're doing? You're screwing up my cutscene. Here, I'll do the cutscene for us. Oh, yeah, I need your camera angle. I'm gonna kick this light off.
Does it not work?
No, it doesn't because we skipped it.
Oh, we're just like. I'm always amazed. Like, I don't know how video games work at all. Like, it all seems like a miracle to me. But, yeah, like, what does this trigger?
Look at
but
this
now that
shit.
We're already, yeah.
his door.
He's still there. Oh! He disappeared in front of my eyes.
It was like checkpoint done. This section done. You don't need that guy anymore.
Like,
I
is
wonder what'll happen. At some point, those will just open, right? And then we'll just have a warthog
Still-
sitting there.
Yeah.
And
Is
then
it?
we'll get to drag the warthog in further, probably.
No,
at that
because
point.
like you have to get through this level for this to unlock.
Yeah.
So you have to go. So, but isn't that cool?
I-
Like, have you ever done that?
I I always think that like older games allow more of that stuff, right? Like the new games are sort of too slick. Can I get back into this thing? I can
You
get
can
back
get.
in here.
Can you get out the other side of it? Is the question.
Oh, and then I could do the rest of the level.
I wonder what would happen. I don't know. Like you get locked out. Maybe that's like the end game to this. Like if you can't get into the seat. So there's a site.
I don't know what just happened there.
Because I think it's jittering across the.
Oh, sure.
So then it would put me back. If you stand there. I wonder if I can get on the other side. Oh, it's probably because you're on a.
It won't let
Too
me
many
get into the gunner
enemies.
seat. Too many enemies? What?
It's because I was standing on that thing, or you were standing on it. Yeah, if you. What the?
You just keep.
What the fish? Oh, it's on the other side.
Oh, that's right.
It's the. We never killed everyone.
There's grunts and stuff on the other side there.
All right. Well, we glitched that. Like, look at that. So let's say, what are we on the print? So we got 53 minutes. What do we want to do? We did the glitch. So if you ever want to do that, apparently it's easier than I thought.
You just cram yourself in there. Video games back in the day, easy to glitch.
There was another one, but I don't want to do it now. But you would launch. Oh, you know what? We could do it right now. We're gonna do it right now.
The only other ones I ever knew about for Halo was like blowing the Warthog up and trying to like get it into spots, or I also remember
We can do the one that you remember. I think.
there's the
Keys?
I think
No, it's not keys.
2 betrayals.
It's guilty spark. It's when you're on the thing, and you throw the grenade down right when you're on the thing, right?
On what thing?
On the flyer thingy, the forehammer flyer.
I don't know. I like I said, I was never too big into the tricks and glitches.
All right, we're gonna
stuff
try
of
this. We're gonna try this glitch right here. So
Okay.
what you want to do
Yeah, show me.
is instantly throw a grenade. The instant that this loads, chuck a grenade to the ground as quickly as you can,
Okay.
because it's gonna prevent you from getting out of this ship. And so you're gonna be doing the fly-in, and I think you have stickies. So you're gonna be flying in.
And I should be like looking downward.
Yeah, just like chuck
look
it at the ground.
Look at your feet, and
Yes.
this is such a great level. I mean, this is the level where obviously you find out the flood is here.
Get
right?
ready
Okay.
to throw this down, because then
Yep.
you're gonna see a cool part of this level to do it.
The captain's dropship was from this area. That was over 12 hours ago.
Keep throwing. Keep chucking. Perfect. Just do that,
Take you up.
because you're gonna take me. So you're stuck in there. Don't get out. Perfect. So you're taking a ride right now.
Sweet.
Have you done this?
I don't think I've done this. Where does he go?
Do you get? Let's find out. So
Let's find out. Let's take a tour. Let's take a tour of the swamp. Holy shit, that's fast. There it is. All right. Is it flying those parts? Can I just, if I just jump
Look
out
at you.
of
You even
it?
no.
Oh,
Like,
look, I'm just sitting here.
yeah.
Oh, and then he just poops me out.
Okay. So
Oh wait, that was you.
that was okay. That was me. So
And now I'm just here. Where's
no,
here?
and that's good. And if we can get, I can't get up to you, so I'm gonna kill my. Wait, maybe I can. So we're at the top. This is a Halo thing that I love,
Wow.
because I could get up to you. We're on the edge of the level.
Nice. Oh, see, there I am, right at the edge there of the Earth.
So this is just another random glitch, and like it's taking.
Welcome
like,
to our Flat Earth Halo podcast.
So this thing's just like, whatever. I'm gonna go to the end of the world.
That's so great. That seems like such an old timey thing. You're just like, just take it and have it fly out of their eyesight, right?
Okay, so you want to see something really crazy? Okay, what happens at this level when you start trying to go down to find the flood? You're right about to go into this cave, and there's a bunch of guys shooting, and you hear a firefight happening.
Yes.
If we go at it at the right angle, all it is floating guns in
I
the air.
do. So I do remember that one because you could. like if you ran up on that fight, right? They want you to go off to the left, and they want you to be like fighting the flood. But if you
Yes.
go to the right, the Marines are supposed to be there, and they don't like expect you to be there yet. But if you go really fast, obviously we're going fast through it, and like yeah, I remember just like floating guns and then audio logs, basically, right? Of like get them.
And it's
Okay, so I can get out of here. Does
You're
it
out.
fly away now?
oh, it's done.
So that was it.
That's where Fohammer's parked up.
She's just like, I'm gonna eat my sandwich here,
Yeah, let's see
and
what
then
she's
when
doing.
they're done with the flood, is she like in there?
This is like a really impractical way to land this thing. There's no landing gear.
Right. There's like,
Just-
there's nothing.
Let's just land it right here on this chunk
It's a
of
tough,
whatever.
it's a tough piece of metal here.
Yeah, that's how it works.
See, you can't
How does
see
it even
through
take
the.
off? It's old. She's. Close your legs, Fohammer.
She's
Jesus.
in there. She's in there taking a break. We all gotta have our personal
gotta have
breaks.
little breaks. All right, we're gonna try to sneak up around the corner on this right-hand side, and stay up at the top
Yeah,
as much.
I have absolutely no idea where we are. Is there no run? There's not
Yeah,
a run
dude,
button in Halo, right?
I was like, holy crap! How did we play this without
Yeah,
run in
that
this
seems-
slow?
Oh God,
Jello
it's like
run.
it's like running through.
But play Halo. Don't distract that. Halo is a classic game, and you should always play it.
And when I said that they had perfected it at Halo 1, maybe adding the run was a good modification.
So we're not playing Halo. Okay, be careful here. We're not playing Halo
What are
2.
these trees?
Man, this is Halo, dude.
There's like these flat pancake textures.
Because you would never
just-
be here. You would be
you would
looking
always be
up.
looking up.
You'd be looking up, and this is like a layer. This is like how games had to fake it. To
Yeah,
make
this
it.
is like some how the sausage is made shit right
That's
now.
right. This
from
is
this angle.
You're getting behind the scenes.
Yeah,
You come
you don't come to the 3D the 3D Halo 1 podcast to
Talking about that, how's it coming? Holy
Yeah.
shit! It's looking like it's gonna be done in like 2 seconds here. Let's look at this thing.
it's looking pretty good. Like the whole basically the entire flat part of the case is made.
This is looking pretty
We're
good.
just
It's pretty pink.
on to 343.
Like
Let's
it's literally like it says it's 56% done,
we're halfway there.
but it's 59 minutes and it's supposed to be an hour and 6 minutes.
Oh, so
That means
it
that
was
this
like
last part is going to be quick, so we'll just let that.
Oh man.
We're gonna
Well,
let that
this
roll.
is great. We'll be able to let it like.
We're running up to 343, right?
This is the last
This
the last
is-
little edge of it. But now I can't see you.
Wait, okay. Can you
Okay,
come
there
to
we
my
go.
little green
Yeah,
thing?
there
Yeah, so basically we're on the top rim of this thing. If you throw grenades, Ryan did it right, I screwed up. I didn't even chuck my grenade, I was explaining it to the kid. But we're gonna run around the corner here. And we're gonna go and see if we can find this glitch.
Do you think do modern? So I don't know too much about this. I know that they did some like glitching like this, obviously in older games, even up to like Skyrim had a bunch of glitches, right? Those like certain developers always have like engines that happen to just lend themselves to a lot of glitches.
Yeah.
But like, do modern video games have this level of just like getting out of the world and throwing enough grenades that I blow up the side of this building or whatever?
It's a good question because, honestly, even some of the later Halo 2, I had some glitches that I could get to like this, especially on like I think it was the second level. But most games have these invisible walls now that I hate.
Right, sure.
This is what convinced me. I was like, this is one of my favorite games ever. Is that you could do this kind of crap. I felt like so crazy that you could get out of
The
it.
invisible wall thing is stupid anyway. Like, just make a mountain or something. Like, make it a drop off in a cliff. Like, make it some natural.
Look at this!
reason.
Holy shit,
What's over there?
dude! Just a
this random
marine.
guy.
What's up, dude? Yo, you okay, bro?
Did he fall out of the ship?
What's up, bro?
He doesn't have a gun.
Can we help him? He's just standing
He's
here.
just like, you can't even like move him. Okay,
Don't. Oh.
but I just wanted to see if he would even like stumble forward.
Yeah, well,
So
he's
obviously
okay.
he could be hurt.
Yeah,
You
he's just
know?
like. He was like a spare asset that somebody was like duplicate, put up.
Just by
totally
accident.
forgot about it.
They were like, ah, crap. we're supposed to have 3 guys on the shuttle, and then we decided to leave one. So just leave them there.
You're like that. This is their test model before they like.
That seems bad
Always
though. It's
do.
like, wouldn't you want to delete all of the things that like add more file size to your video game?
It's either an accident or there's some sort of trick to it.
Like
have to,
maybe like, are we right like above?
We're right by
the
that part. I
section.
think it's close.
So maybe he like runs out and shoots from above and then dies or something. So that
Okay,
he can, like,
here's the
fall.
shooting right here.
Okay, let's see if he triggers him.
I don't think
Okay,
it's gonna
like,
go.
Jump down there. Or
Wait,
something.
no, because there's no shooting. Oh, they're shooting from up. down
Okay.
there.
Do you hear that? Do you see that shooting? He doesn't have a gun, so maybe he just like falls to his death at some point.
He's just like fuck.
They
this
just
shit.
needed like a
I don't want to
marine
be part of
dummy
this.
yeah, he's like, forget this. There's aliens, and I heard about some other kind of freaking crazy zombies.
He just inhaled too much swamp gas. He's high as fuck. Just chilling right there.
He's like, nope, not going nowhere. You can take away whatever stars you want off this badge.
He's like, I'm done. I'm checked out of life. Fuck
I'm
this.
really, you win, Covenant.
He's just gonna stand there till he dies. That's fucked up.
Let it come. I don't care. I'm a neutral, surveyor of this shit now.
It's like, I'm just gonna.
Like Muhammad Ali. I'm just not gonna engage in any of this.
Maybe he's like Neo in the Matrix, and he's the one that's like fucking making those guns shoot off the.
Oh
end
man,
there.
he's really the linchpin
Dude,
of all of this.
This is we've
Where are
underestimated-
we?
We're almost there. We gotta run. We've skipped
This
so
whole
much.
like we
Here it is,
basically
here it
just
is.
ran across the entire side.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, so
we
here's
missed
the light.
it all.
Yeah, so here's the light,
See,
and then like right there would be the guys.
Are we ready?
Just the guns.
Are we ready?
Can you see it?
We're gonna go in. Oh, wait,
Alright.
oh, you have a pistol.
I have a pistol.
See if you can see. I don't know. I'll go in and be the sacrificial
Okay,
lamb.
yeah, go in there, and I'm
Let's
gonna
see.
like look over the edge.
Does it even? Oh, here it goes. Here's the gun.
Love that. And then they
Yeah.
just disappear. It's like they did not give a shit about any of that. You talk about like stuff being for the end here. Like there's no way they.
I think that's
You're
pretty
right,
much
that's all fine.
much as far as that is gonna go. As far as the if you do other things up top, oh, that's you. Now this is a terrible level to play, honestly.
It's very like atmospheric, right? It's not very like. I
Okay.
mean, I guess it's action packed in some ways.
And there is some cool parts. Now this would be a great time to, oops, not push that button. Oh, I just switched to okay.
Oh
we're-
my god, you switched to normal.
Oh my
updated
God.
view.
Oh, here it is. I was looking for the goddamn flashlight. It was the literally last button that I pushed.
Oh, flashlight used to be everything, and now it's hardly anything.
Because this is what Halo was to me in terms of the flashlight. Like, there are parts that you cannot see.
Right.
Like, can I use
those
okay,
little tunnels that you go through, like in the ship in the first part?
Exactly.
especially?
Like, let's go down. There's got to be a dark spot. Because
Oh,
I
yeah.
got to show you what I mean by this. Like, right now, does this not feel a little what's the word? Foreshadowing? Is this foreboding?
This is foreboding because like it's like eerie and there's like
Okay.
the threat of something in the distance or whatever.
fair.
So it's foreboding.
Let's kill these people here. You know what? If they didn't shoot me, I would actually consider not killing them.
The aliens.
Yeah, if they like were like, don't shoot me.
If they were cool about it, could you just be cool about it, aliens?
Like, what if the dude was just like, hey, I don't want to fight. Like, I get it. That
Oh, it's you.
is me. Yeah, you're not gonna have any lights in here.
Ah, this game was very weird with like warping you, even though you were like right next to the person.
And I totally went down the wrong hallway. Warped you the wrong way. And warped you back. There we go.
Whatever. As long as you're pointing us in the right direction.
All right, let me just show you. Let's look at this piece right here. All right, I just want to look here
Okay.
and see it has like a darkness to it. So you turn on this and you get a little bit more detail, right?
Yeah.
This is random, so this is a test. So you turn this on, everything just seems bright. Like, what's the point of turning this on?
Oh, sure. Right. Like
So you go.
they've artificially relit everything and like very dramatic.
So look at, like, the light actually does things to this wall. So I'm on this wall, and you have that reflection, and you go over here. Like, there's no point to having a light.
Yeah.
And I'm making the case that there's something that tone wise that
Right.
changed when you went to that remake.
Especially, especially in this level, because this is like their horror level,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Like, this is their, what is going on, and zombies and all of that. Like, so having that extra level of dimension that isn't just like neon bright lit colored light everywhere with lens flares and all of that. Yeah, there's something to be said about that. I feel like there has been more indie games and things like that have leaned into a little more of like
It seems
Halo or that level of like bad 3D. Before we got really good at like rendering everything awesomely in 3D, that sort of chunky 3D style. What was this? Are we getting across this bridge? Is that
we
what
were
it was?
trying to, and I think I'm like totally lost.
Did it like
where I
turned
need to
us
go.
around? Here, I think
It
we're
did.
good. Going across here. Can you get up here? I'll just warp.
I feel like we should
Abandon this level.
abandon this level and play
Yeah.
Assault on the control room.
Yeah.
But before
Assault on the controller. What was your favorite? What's your favorite Halo?
shit, dude,
one
you know,
level?
I almost feel like if we're gonna continue this, because what time is it? It's 11:03.
1103.
We've been streaming for what, a couple hours?
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. Streams can go as long as you want them to
Sure.
go. We're doing okay.
Yeah.
Let's do like Truth and Reconciliation is really fun because you're going into
Yeah.
the ship.
Right. Because it's two. It's like outside the ship is one whole section, and then inside the ship is one whole section.
Look
Which
at
is super
look
fun.
at that. It's kind of fucking up on your little eyeball right there.
What the heck?
Look what you did, dude.
Is it
I think it's because you played really bad.
It was like it sends it. You don't deserve this.
No, oh, you know what? There was a little bit of a thing. Okay, so this is a 3D printing sidebar.
Good.
Is that let's go back to the screencast, and let's open this guy up. Shit, I didn't have it in there, so I'll bring it back in there. Boop. And if we prepare to print, I think I see where the problem is that we forgot. We'll see though, for sure. There it is. Do you see this little inner ring right here?
Yeah.
It's empty. There's nothing at that point. It's just like there's 1 or 2 layers of nothing, and then it goes up 2 layers, and then it has that point. So we missed that. But here's the thing that's cool, is you look at this, and that thing did a pretty damn good job
Right.
of compensating or printing over nothing.
It just printed where it thought it should go, and then that just flopped down below.
But enough
right?
that it's still on cue
Yeah.
right now. So it was enough that, like, I think a couple places dripped down just enough that it did it. So that, I mean, that's enough. Like, that's a tolerance thing. You're not gonna even notice that when it's done.
No, that's true. Like, that's kind of the nice thing about using sort of a soft plastic, right? Because
Yeah.
it can kind of, it gives a little and it falls down. Now, if that was taller, I imagine that would not, if that break was more than like a couple passes, then that probably wouldn't have done that, right?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
You would have had a tough time. So we're at 85%. So
85.
well, here's the interesting thing that you can look at. It's on the screencast. It said it would be 1 hour and 6 minutes, according to Simplify 3D. But in reality, we're already a minute, or 1 hour and 11 minutes.
So it took longer?
It's taking longer than the
Longer.
projected amount of time
Okay.
to do that.
Is that typical when you see
Mhm.
stuff? Is it usually takes longer?
It takes a little bit longer, yeah. And I don't know if I suspect that's just my printer.
Yeah.
I love this part though right now. It's how it just just drops layers down. It's super mesmerizing to watch.
Yeah, it's like a lava lamp, right?
Yeah, I don't know. And the noise of it, I don't think you can even hear the noise on this recording.
Oh,
but
this Yeti mic isn't picking that up?
it ain't picking up shit.
It's funny to like look over and see it in real life printing when I'm looking at the computer screen.
Yeah, it's all real. It's fun to have that. All right,
Yeah.
so we're gonna get into quitting this game, and we're gonna start on our last run through of Truth and
Yeah.
Reconciliation. So I think this has been a fun kind of stream today. I think that
Here, click.
Cheers.
First stream.
mhm,
Dual stream. First dual stream.
yeah, and I love the fact that we can play video games.
Yeah. It's like, that's
And-
what I want to do anyway.
Yeah, so we're just gonna
So-
do the normal thing. So we're basically just recording ourselves doing normal shit.
Yeah. This is what we would be doing if we were hanging out anyway.
So as you start to watch us and you are thinking we're super cool,
I probably wouldn't have introduced myself, but other than that.
I told my kids think I'm super cringe when I talk
Oh,
about
yeah.
anything. Like,
Right.
because I record videos, I know enough shit for work that
Sure.
I do this kind of thing
Yeah.
for a living. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna go set up a stream room. I'm like, I gotta educate people, work in education. So it's fun to do this, but then my
Right.
kids are watching YouTubers and all this other
Yeah.
stuff, and so I'm on a YouTube, and they're like, oh my god, I don't want to hear.
It wouldn't matter what you were doing. It wouldn't matter if you were the coolest thing in the entire world. Dad, your own dad cannot be like a cool person doing fun, cool things.
Cannot do that.
At all times they are cringe. I know. We bought a new laptop and we got a new like whole it's like a nice one and everything, and so
Yeah.
we're putting video editing software on it for Trenton because he wants to like do more video editing and things like that
Yeah.
for his YouTube channel. And I was like, cool, yeah, it's like old enough to figure it out and know stuff and be able to tell him things and him know about it and
Did you give
internalize
him
it.
your YouTube?
Well, like I would want to at some point. Like if he would get into it enough that he was just producing all the videos for it, I would absolutely give it to him and be like, yeah, great. That's your,
Your thing.
yeah, that's your summer job basically, or that's your
hire
your thing.
Yeah. You better get more views
Yeah,
on this, son.
these upvotes seem light, but yeah, so that would be the end thing if he wanted to shoot his own videos. And I feel like the channel has enough of like an identity or a thing for it that he could like take pieces of it and be like, and now mix it into our own thing, sort of like you're doing almost here, right? It was like started as 3D streaming and then it's like sort of going into this, and it's like part of it is still there, its heart is still there, but then it's just a new person taking it over with new ideas. So that's
Under the
end thing.
Tryenamy or Trenton the
So
Lioness.
it's Trenton the Lioness is the official name of the channel anyway. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's a good
But it's connected to your.
it's
Gmail.
connected to my Gmail, but
Yeah,
like
that's
whatever,
rough.
right? And my like AdSense and all of the stuff that
Right.
pays for it all. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, let's see where we're at right now. We're close. Okay,
Dang.
99%.
how is that? I feel like it's jumping around all over.
Okay,
the
you got to
place,
think
though.
about it, because you had a layer that had a full layer of stuff, and then
Right.
you go to the next layer, so it's 99% as in terms of height.
Yeah,
So-
and I guess
So we're how many minutes off? I bet you it's 10 minutes off.
10 minutes.
It's really close to that.
Yeah. How is there very specific, like obviously this is a hobby that like people get into and they're building stuff and they're posting things online and they're doing augments for it. Holy shit, it's done.
There it is. And you
So right now that it's finished,
no
how much longer is that? Do we have to wait for it to dry? 0 seconds?
We don't. So what we're gonna do?
Wait, I'll do the.
You had a question. What was your question?
The question that I was asking. Damn it! Now I can't remember.
Of course we don't.
Of course.
We go into the nozzle and you
Nozzle.
can see like a close up.
Ooh, is it still? It's still like squeezing out.
Yeah. So we're gonna look at this from just like a close up view.
Ah.
Yeah. And so that nozzle is gonna squirt out some stuff, and you can see my tweezers here to pull that out. And you can go to the full GoPro now if you like. What I'm gonna do.
And it cools in enough. It cools in enough with just the fan to be ready to go right now.
Yeah, it's not going to be an issue. So what I'm taking off right here, this part
Oh,
right
there's
here,
the skirt.
that's the skirt.
It's a dirty skirt.
And then you go in, and I could wait a little bit longer to let this cool, but it's your print, and I don't give a fuck.
You're like, dude, warp this piece of shit.
So
Holy crap!
look at that. So on the very back of it, and you can see there's that little tiny little itty bitty hole.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to use like a finishing nail on that,
You're
buddy.
gonna just use a pin.
Oh my
Just
god,
use a
yeah,
pin for this.
yeah. It's a thumbtack with the top taken off.
So what do we got here? I mean,
He
it's
looks
pretty
awesome,
cool.
dude. He
That's-
looks super awesome.
That is a sweet little print.
Is so let's say I was gonna like take some sandpaper to that. Is that how do people finish 3D prints
You know,
typically?
okay, there's a lot of ways. You shouldn't ask those questions of me because I could talk for like 5
Oh
hours.
man,
at
this is
a,
another whole show,
if
right?
we talked
It's another
about
whole
vapors,
show.
there's some people, and this is not the right one
Vapors?
to do it. You put it into the vapors of some sort of chemicals, and what it does is it melts the outside to smooth it.
Oh, that's
but
cool.
this particular one, you can't do that with because of the composition of the plastics.
Yeah.
So the best bet for this, if you really want to do something, is get like a plastic paint, one of those ones that adheres to plastic. Get enough of a coat that it fills in those gaps.
Like model paints? Do you think like for painting models?
I'd say
Or like
More spray
miniature
paint.
or
Or like-
spray paint?
Yeah,
How
like-
am I gonna fucking paint this as spray paint? It's tiny.
just get. Well, you're not gonna buy a whole spray paint can, but if you have the rubber kind, there's a rubber kind of spray paint. It adheres to plastic.
See, I feel like I want like little tiny paint jars, like this big, where I
Oh, you
put
can
in
you can
little
use
tiny,
acrylics. You can use anything.
Like,
On
you can
that.
use acrylics.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
You don't need to prep it.
Yeah.
What you could do is spray paint it with like a matte, just to get enough
Oh,
to
sure.
like paint
Yes,
on top of it.
That's true. That is true.
But aside from that, you can. And then, so what I've typically done, and I guess if you're interested in the paint side of it, I have one here so that I can pull out.
Oh, okay. The Buddha. Did you make that, or did someone else build that? You
did
were
not-
standing on the shoulders of giants, weren't you?
I was standing on the shoulders of giants. So what we got right here is our Buddha.
I love that guy.
And what you see is, I got a little Necronomicon. I'm going to take that off for a second. So,
He's
painted
got
it
layers.
with acrylics. So it's not like the best of paint jobs. There's a shitty paint job on my side, but where you got it.
One layer of acrylics.
I spray painted it with like a metallic paint, and then I painted it over with like probably 2 or 3 layers.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I figured. God, they always kill me how light they are. Like it feels like it should be heavier, right?
okay, you say that. Check this shit out.
You're gonna need me like a dense one. Oh shit! How easy do they break?
Nah, not too bad. You didn't see that anyway on
Didn't
camera.
it didn't?
So tell me that
didn't
one's
exist.
that one doesn't feel heavier.
Yeah, this Charizard definitely is. Is like solid, right? It feels
Exactly.
like you could drop this. The wings maybe not as much, but I guess
In the
they're thin
wings,
anyway, so-
hilarious thing about this print, Charizard, is I completely forgot to put supports on the entire print.
Oh man, wow.
It printed these wings on nothing.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So I
That's why
don't
it's, like,
even know.
shaggy at the bottom.
I don't even have no clue how it was able to do
Wow.
this, and I accidentally
Dry.
put it on 100% infill. So that's
Those are the trials and tribulations of learning to get your.
to it.
This is just you can't. This shelf is not set up to take things off. Of
It's
it.
a very, you don't even see the cool shelf in the shot. I need to get the
Damn.
shelf.
What
in
the
shot.
hell? The shelf in the shot.
So, the guy
Okay.
that keeps falling though is
Little Among Us. Little
Among Us,
little
dude.
classic white and blue.
All right, I'm putting this guy back on
Yeah.
the shelf while I'm
Put
here.
his Necronomicon.
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 No, it's Necronomicon.
Necronomicon. God damn it! Oh, this is a disaster. I'm glad this isn't in the shot.
Oh, shit.
This is taking one.
Okay, so let's
like
see.
Adam is such a carefully manicured area that taking one piece down just ruins the entire.
The entire.
It's like a house of
aesthetic.
cards.
We'll have
Man.
a fly through this one day. But
Yeah, we'll
not,
have to.
but
Yeah,
not
like
today.
a phone hooked up, streaming fly through. Of all
All right,
the of all the
everything
different ones.
is back. You got a sweet memento
Yes,
of today.
I know. I'm planning on painting it myself.
All right, so last step of the night. We got to play through some truth and reconciliation. So last cleanup of this thing, just to
what happens to what's shutdown look like? Cleaning.
Shutdown is easy as shit.
Easy, love that.
You can see that the bed now I can move with my hand.
Yeah.
I can actually move this back and forth with my hand.
Mm-hmm.
I can pull. There's a thing that you're not seeing that I can kind of pull up here, and I'm able to adjust.
Nope.
Yep. Just adjusting the height and the X. What I usually do is just pull it up, make sure any of that lasts. If you want to hit that nozzle, you see I'm just clean. There's a little tiny piece of that nozzle that's on there. And it's not an issue, but if you remember when we did the auto home, that it literally gets so close that sometimes can be a pain in the ass.
Right.
So what I'll do sometimes, tiny guy here, and you don't want to be careful that you don't actually cut the tip of your nozzle off.
Could you do that?
You can. And
Wow.
I've done some of that before.
No.
Yeah.
You're always like super careful, I bet.
No, I'm not always that careful.
Totally you are.
I put the appearances of that.
Only Adam would have to play down his carefulness for
my
the thing
goodness.
to seem like a normal human being.
So what I don't necessarily need to do this step that I'm doing right here, but just to show you that I'm auto homing it one more last time and see how good that tolerance is on it.
Yeah.
It's gonna just be like
It makes me nervous.
gets like so
Yeah.
precise.
Is it doing? It's doing that itself. It like has a little camera on there or something.
So
Or it's you.
So here, let's see if you can see this one part. It's gonna be really hard to see this. You can actually look at it right here. Go ahead and keep it on that angle, I guess.
Keep it here.
We're
We're going in.
We're floating.
Holy shit.
All right. So go ahead. Well, you don't have to do anything. I'll just set it
Yeah.
down here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kick this off. So see this little thing on the side?
Which thing? The glowing
The
one?
glowing thing.
Yeah.
So that's what's called a BL touch. And what I can do is if I prepare, I'm gonna do bed leveling. And so what it's gonna do? Oh god, I should have probably not done that. We'll see. So it's gonna go to the side here. See that little probe it puts out?
Yeah. Oh, and then it like sucks it back in.
Right when it hits.
That's great.
And so what it's gonna do is it goes at 9 points on this thing, and it probes 9 points. And if you look up at the readout, it says 5.35 in that upper right hand corner.
Yep.
And then it's gonna give a readout here, which you can look 5.17. So it's like within microns of each other
Wow.
that it's doing these assessments on this board. So it's gonna take 9 measurements.
That's an extra add-on that doesn't come with the 3D printer,
No,
right?
and
So then how does the 3D printer expect you to do that manually?
Yes. And there's a whole
Man.
way that you do that manually.
Wow.
But here's the thing is that I still have to do it manually. This just gives me the measurements. See, I had to move that little thing. Look how close it is.
Yeah.
Because these things hold the bed down pretty well. So it does all its measurements. We're almost done here. And what it'll do is...
It doesn't just automatically add those. You have to like go in and be like, "The measurement number 7 is 0.337
Yeah.
microns. Wow.
No, well, I go in and just make sure my bed is level as possible using those measurements. So it's like, what? First one was like 5 point something, and that was 5.16 at the end. It was enough tolerance for me that's good. So here's that cool, that's the webcam that I took off. There's
Yeah.
that part we saw at the end, the
Right.
beginning of the thing that
Yeah.
we had built.
Love
and the
that.
little door that went on there. These are all like 3D printed parts.
Are the
This
are
is
the
3D
screw
printed.
the screw holes are like threaded?
No, it's just because on the other end, yeah, this one is just, it has small enough hole that it actually just grips into it.
Okay.
But this is a pain in the butt to level this thing so that it does that
Right.
other thing.
Yeah,
That
makes-
was literally me. See that? Okay, let's see here. See that little screw that's right in there?
Yeah, the one inside.
Yeah, this one right here.
Yeah.
That was me screwing it off and moving this thing up and down manually with my fingers.
A
Running-
micron at a time.
A micron at a time, hitting that auto level and seeing how close it would get
Wow.
to get it to that level.
Is
So
and that's just
That is
you
it.
doing that, like trying it a little bit, pushing it a little bit, and then testing it, and then pushing it a little bit more, and
There's a
testing
lot
it.
of time just sitting in this room, running this thing over and over and over.
And scraping the shit off of it and throwing it away and starting new stuff.
It's not all prints. Well,
It's
here-
not glamorous. It's not all glamorous, Ryan. It's not all. It's not all 343 plaques. You know.
Look at this. This is a lot of the like prints that screwed up. Like I have
Oh God.
tons of prints that
Wow.
you can see like of just the pieces and
This
parts
is the graveyard. This is the 3D graveyard.
that you have of every little like thing that either failed or whatever.
Yeah.
And I guess of my rolls as well. Like look at here's a early version of
Oh.
the mount.
Okay.
So I was just trying to like hang it on there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right. Not
it was
gonna happen.
It was bad. So like you have to print to be able to do your things. Cut away from this terrible angle.
Oh my God.
What were you doing? Thinking of this.
the whole house of cards is coming down.
No, we're all good. All right, let's play truth.
Yes.
Installation. Do we have to take a quick intermission, or are we good?
No, I think we're good.
Me too.
If I'm good, if you're good.
Yep.
Besides, I'm gonna fly through Truth and Reconciliation. Are you kidding me? This isn't. This is my level. This was like a sniper level to begin with, which
If you do
during Halo CE, I was the
yes.
that was my thing, and that I thought I was good at before I met the internet. You know. That was the where I was like, yeah, this is my zone. Of course, that's also when like your peak, or closer to the peak than it sure as hell is now, of like hand-eye coordination too, right?
Absolutely.
When does hand-eye coordination peak?
I thought you were pretty damn young when that happened.
I think it's like 17 or something.
Is it really?
I think it's like
That much?
literally
That
that.
old?
I think it's like that
That seems-
around that age.
It seems actually a lot older than I would expect it to. So that means we were like doubly retarded because we're 40.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
Ugh.
But yeah, the 35.
I can
forget it.
hang playing games with my kid though. That's the thing. That's cool.
Is it? But I bet it's more like tactics and just you being close to video
It's
games
being-
for long
it's
enough,
being
rather
smarter.
than like twitch reflexes,
It's being
right?
smarter. I'm not going to deny it.
Not rushing into fights and things like that.
Absolutely. Wait, what is this thing? Oh, I need this up here.
So how do we get inside the ship if it's in the air?
Core give me a rifle, now wings.
There's a gravity lift that ferries troops and supplies between the ship and the surface.
That's our ticket in.
Once we
See,
get
I
inside
can
the
do
ship,
like
I should
the
be
whole
able
thing.
to lock on to the tracking signal from Captain Key's neural implants.
All right, hold on.
Get a Marine! Go, go, go!
Hold on
Boys,
just a
pay us
second.
by the hour.
Stick to
You
the higher
take
ground.
this.
We should be able to recon the Covenant
See,
position
now,
without being spotted.
this was definitely part of
I've
the
detected
Halo game
Covenant
that I loved,
stationary
which was
guns
like
in the next
methodically
box.
going
I
through and
recommend
trying to
using your
kill
sniper
every
rifle to take out the
Covenant
gunners
without
while I
them
call
seeing.
for Marine support.
I don't think you can do that this part.
Get ready to move in to support us, Sergeant. The Master Chief is going to
Because-
completely take out as many of the Covenant as he can. Don't open fire until you hear the enemy return fire on us. That should let us keep the
Okay.
element of surprise.
No, I feel like you could totally. I don't want to do that now because it's like boring and methodical. But like, you can absolutely.
You can get all of those? Look, I have our screen right in the middle of
Ah.
our thing. I can't
Nice.
see shit. I can't
Oh.
snap up there. No,
Just-
this is good. This is good.
Just like put it on the right hand side. That's
we're,
fun to
we're
do.
just playing it right here. Then I won't be able to see my whatever.
No, that's true.
I don't care. You know what? I can put it right below it. Perfect. Make sure that we look cool on the
I need
camera.
that. Yeah, of course. The
Look
impetus
suave.
of this is so that like sit up straight for God's sakes.
Yeah. The half the
Oh,
shot.
see, they started shooting at us.
No, they
I
always
already
do.
fucked it up.
It's all good. It's probably me. I turned my flashlight on.
They were like flashlight.
Alert.
They're
The
one-shot
Covenant is
kills
making a
on
run
normal.
for that
Shit, we
stationary
should have been
gun.
on
Take him out.
heroic.
Yeah, I was thinking heroic might have been a little like, but if we're just running through this, you
We
know.
don't have time for this. You guys have already seen us meander through 3 freaking Halo shit.
I know, right?
Yank me.
See, and we yanked her. I feel like that now you have a new podcast or a new title. Yanker. Yank me. Halo 1 3D print, yank me.
That is actually a very good naming convention. Oh man, this is such a fun level.
Yeah.
You know, there's a point where right before you get to the grab lift, you can get invisibility.
Right.
And it's so fun to like go and kill those
The fucking hunters and stuff, like just run up behind them and
well,
like.
you can't get the
single
hunters.
piss 'em.
It's no the elites.
Oh, okay, yeah, the elite. No, because there are hunters there.
Oh, I don't know if you could use that. I bet you there's oh shit. I'm terrible at this one.
Okay, I got him. I got the turret at least.
Yeah, that was one I just ran up on like three.
You're not supposed to say that, dude.
Oh, I was like a restarted
Reject.
a reject to society. Yeah, what were you thinking I was saying?
Yeah, what were? Ah, shit! I fucking see. So, God, I feel like that. No, that is one of those things though that having the.
All my Marines are killing everything. I'm just
Yeah,
aimlessly
they're-
running around like I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Okay.
I know, right? It's pathetic.
It's alright. There's lag in the stream.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you know that's it.
Can we just take a moment to acknowledge how beautiful kill these things?
Covenant forces
This
detected
skybox.
overhead. The path up
Look at
outside
this.
is let's sneak up around.
That's beautiful.
It's,
There's
Bungie, always known for their skyboxes. You know.
They've done a great job on the skybox.
What is it? Oh, that's the ship.
We're gonna get into
That's
that
pretty
shit.
cool. That's you know. I feel like that is pretty epic for this for you know
What was this?
very early 2000s. Right?
We have
Did
we
we-
have information on this, Ryan.
Oh,
we have
oh,
the
we do.
freaking
We have the
we could-
Halo franchise.
when did this come out? There's got to be Origin Trilogy. Well, it's got to say in that other part of this.
Does this mouse not work? There we go.
Oh, it works.
But purchase a
2001.
in 2000, and then it came out in 2001.
So
Yeah, November
2001. This is 20 years ago. There was
Hey.
20 years ago.
This is the anniversary, 20th anniversary this year of Halo.
And we're playing.
God, I love like God, I suck. The sniping of elites in this game is like the best because one, they're a pain in the ass. They're a pain in the ass to take down, and so when you can able to snipe them in one shot, like that is so extra satisfying.
And you don't even have to get a headshot.
Yeah, like chest. Like I love staggering in them and then shooting them one extra time.
Move up on the left.
So good.
You should be able to flank the enemy.
I'm flanking.
I have my little pop-up right here. Oh shit.
Oh,
Wait,
where you
is there
going,
elite?
elite? Oh! Did you see that shit? Oh man, we both sniped that dude. We both sniped that dude like right at the exact same time.
Wait,
that was
what-
beautiful.
Did you snipe
Oh, I can't wait to see that in the. I can't wait to see that.
What
in
did
the-
you
in the
snipe
save.
at?
Because I was on one side and you were on the other side of this elite right here, and we both sniped him at the same
You're
exact
gonna laugh because I was sniping a jackal.
Oh,
and,
what?
and it sniped through to him. Did it hit him?
Dude, we nailed it.
I
right
killed
at the,
a jackal at
Wow.
the same time I killed that.
Now I double can't wait to see that replay.
Oh shit!
That is
they're,
going to
they're,
be
they're
amazing.
dropping people in this. Yeah, it's,
What are these guys? These Marines are throwing stuff, and they are not doing a good job.
oh god. Oh man, no scope skills are terrible. You have to use punch skills.
What the shit?
I punched you.
I was like, did I get what?
You got punched
There,
by
finally,
me.
man. I'm
It's like go run down that hallway really quick. Because
Yeah.
you should be able to kill.
Oh, right, because I'm.
This is how it is to be 40. You forget shit.
Yeah, I definitely.
Go left. Go left. Just run up that way. There's.
Oh, but I've already done.
There's a red one, so back up. He doesn't have a shield. I'm in a.
Oh, I just.
No, we're good.
But I killed one of our Marines.
No. You shouldn't have gotten away with your bolts.
You know,
We're directly under
that's
the
what I
ship
say
now.
about
Alright.
people who are lower ranked than I am.
The Covenant use a gravity lift to move troops and supplies between the ship and
So
the
I
surface.
was playing the hunters at this next
Ambush
part,
them at the grav lift's loading
and
zone,
they're
and use
so
the lift to
smoking
enter the
easy.
ship.
Oh shit! I just grenaded. Back up.
Oh, you blew me up. My
Oh shit.
God only knows where my sniper rifle is now, Adam.
Well, we could restart from checkpoint.
No. I'm good. I'm good.
Alright.
Gotta live with these.
These terrible.
I'm sure that's gonna happen
Some more?
to me,
Stationary
to
guns
you.
gonna tear us to pieces.
Did you find your sniper?
I should know, but that's okay.
What if I find it and then I get all your bullets?
And
from
you,
it?
I think you might have already done that.
How's that feel?
You're welcome.
I'll just use. I wanted to use this plasma pistol.
I think we should restart from
No,
checkpoint.
it's good. Because it's just gonna happen. It's just like something's gonna happen. We're gonna die.
Yeah, it's not how we play Halo anyway.
Yeah,
We've
you gotta
always-
move forward.
You gotta just push through.
Yeah. Like that's
Even
part
when your
of it.
friend completely kills you.
It blows you up with a grenade. Hey, that's gonna
Like a
happen
peasant.
with grenades blowing up grenades.
Okay, I'm gonna. Oh, that's
Look,
you.
I'm just gonna
Good thing I
shoot
didn't
this-
kill you.
He's sniping.
I was about to snipe
Wait,
your
the guy
ass.
across from me is a bad guy though.
Okay. He's dead. You killed him.
Alright, good.
We're gonna run to this though.
Cover fire.
I'm just gonna watch.
I can't tell. Like I'm using your screen.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to help you.
There we go.
Just
Okay.
conserve
Oh
your
shit.
bullets. There we go. Oh shit. That was terrible. Why are you watching this? Alright. Oh, I think you're from that. Oh man, those grunt deaths are so epic.
Yeah, oh man. The Needler.
It's
Needler. The Needler had a bad rap in Halo 1, and I feel like they tried to fix it in Halo 2, and they made it like extremely deadly.
But is it not deadly in one?
The problem with it is in 1 is like you really gotta train it. Like if they sort of juke around it, they're
And it has splash damage.
yeah, the splash damage is great, and also just like the explosion that if you get like, I can't remember how many you're supposed to get, like 10 or something. It's pretty good.
I'm just
The
chucking grenades.
chaos, like I feel like what was so great about the original Halo is the chaos of the battlefield, right? It was just a bunch of shit is gonna go down and people are gonna be blowing up everywhere, and it wasn't so guided, I guess.
Hunter.
See, I'm not gonna be able to kill hunters. with
No,
this.
okay, I'm gonna kill hunters without. Oh shit, I already grenades. Never mind. Oh my god! You can just use. They're much easier in this game, but.
I killed mine. Oh wait, I didn't.
So you can heal. Fine.
Okay, he's dead. Oh, I don't have any ammo. Nice. Oh, man, I love that.
Cortana to Echo 419.
Okay, we're up in the ship.
Reach the
This is
gravity
great.
lift and are
This is a
ready
good
for
part.
reinforcements.
This is.
Oh wait, there's some ammo drops over
Yeah,
here.
I was gonna say.
Hold tight, gentlemen. Hold him.
Get my sniper rifle back. Just
Yeah.
for when we go into this really enclosed spot.
There's some good points where you need it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's an achievement, I think, if you keep it through this.
Have that sniper rifle through the entire.
Inbound.
Through this part.
Don't just drop it and ditch out.
If you get out with this next part, you get,
They drop us off, guys, right? Because they're like, yeah, well, you know what? You piece of shit, Master Chief. You didn't save anyone. You didn't save any of those Marines. You killed half of them.
on
yourself."
normal.
On normal.
On normal. We
On
didn't get
normal.
the cool cut. Oh wait, we do get the cutscene.
Yeah.
We're a little rusty. That's okay.
It's fine. Master Chief got some balls on him. I will say that.
Back on us.
Doing all this shit.
I've got a good rock on the captain's
Okay,
CNI
I used to have this
transport.
like memorized. So one of these will open, right? It'll blink first, and then an invisible guy will come through.
And every single one of them. One of them has a sworded invisible guy.
Yeah, that's what's gonna come through. Sword invisible
There he is.
guy.
Oh shit.
There we
Shot him
go.
in the
So
pee-pee.
now it'll just be the exact same thing.
On normal, I don't think it's only one.
Oh, they only do one? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's 4 on legendary.
Yeah.
Showing that we know how legendary works, you know. Shoot him in the pee-pee.
You gotta shoot their fucking dicks off at them.
Did you ever see that RoboCop remake? Did you ever see RoboCop?
I saw the original RoboCop, of course.
There's a point in RoboCop where like he shoots a rapist in the penis.
Oh, yes. Yes.
There's a remake.
That is a classic. Oh, man.
Oh, the
So
remake.
what happens in the remake? He's got to shoot him in the dick, right?
Oh,
That's part
they
of it.
have
It's gratuitous.
thousands of rapists running in, and he keeps shooting their dicks off, and it's so gratuitous. Just so many.
Why would they
dicks
do
being
that?
shot. It's because it was some other people that thought it was hilarious.
I feel like was the whole movie like that? Was the whole movie like
no, it
just
no, the
ridiculous over the
remake.
top?
No, it was a remake of only that scene by people to
Oh,
spoof
I
it.
see. Okay, nice. Okay, well then I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Especially because that's such a huge fucking shoot. Yeah, wow. that movie was like I went and saw that as a child.
Yeah, well, it just makes you not be a rapist. Don't be a rapist.
Hey, I learned my lesson. I'm not. Oh,
Holy shit, hunters!
I forgot there are hunters there.
Oh, they opened out of that big door. That's why. I like how you can shoot him with his gun and punch him.
Yeah, it's pretty great. And like I love punching with the back of the needler.
Oh yeah, that's
Such an amazing
Awesome.
like that's how you would punch with something that had needles coming out.
Yeah,
the
you
back
hit
of
the
it,
needle
right?
side.
Yeah. And then see, I think what they were supposed to do is like, because they all explode, right?
Yeah.
So let's say you punch someone with that, they should all go into their body and then explode as if it was like a grenade. But so that makes me think they did do that, and then they were like, nah, that's too much, or it's like too powerful.
I don't know how that would be too powerful.
Because it'd be like sticking a grenade to someone every single time that you like meleeed anyone.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I found that the punch does not do.
Okay,
as much.
so here's another element where there's some like, okay, use
Side
the.
passages to find a way around.
It seems like
Because
it's
you went
darker.
down.
It's darker, right?
Yeah.
Just gonna do a quick switch.
The door from the other side, Chief.
Maybe.
What's happening? Or it's gonna crash. Here we go.
Just,
That looks fine.
It.
I feel like
Yeah,
that looks
they
cool.
did a good job. It definitely feels like there's a lot going on. Look at the difference between that.
Yeah, for sure. They just had more stuff to work with, right? They got more polygons to work with. They got more lights to work with. Like, of course, it looks cooler.
No, and the cooler parts there. But I guess where I'm getting at is like, you're in an alien ship. You need to use some lights. You need to kind of like.
Yeah.
I liked that horror element.
Yeah. Well, I feel like
the
that's
thing
your
that-
style.
that
That's
you
your,
lose.
you know.
But
You
this
wanted
is
more
the-
like Dead Space.
This
right?
is what we started with.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
true.
remaking a classic.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like they could have done some more for less just like cleaning it up, right? And making it sort of this nicer, polished, more 3D, more polygon version of everything. And a little more like, oh shit. And I remember, so off subject,
Yeah.
I remember like really being good for a little bit at sticking units.
Oh, yeah.
Like that was like one of my things for a little bit, and I would just go through these levels and go through even on multiplayer stuff,
Wait,
and
that's the locked door down there.
just be running around, and that would be like your when you encountered someone and you had, I think you just gunned me down, motherfucker.
Did I? Is that your sniper?
That's my sniper rifle right
Get
there.
away from that. Get your- I think you needed to die anyway.
This is probably true. But yeah, I remember being like, yeah, having that just feels so satisfying. That was great to see that come shooting over my shoulder.
So I hate dropping down here. Oh shit! Get out of my face!
Yeah, can we kill the elite down here? I think there's like one elite.
Oh yeah, I see him. Come on, man. If I can get a freaking shot on him. Shot him in the feet.
Finally. Yeah, he was a rapist, I bet.
I Robocop him.
I Robocop that motherfucker.
Jackal seems so terrible. You know what I'm really glad of? Is that they didn't keep those stupid bugger bullshit from some of those other
God, those were the worst. I feel like, talk about an enemy that is not fun to fight, right? That is just like annoying and like extends scenes way longer than they need to be extended, right? God damn it. Yeah, just that whole section is just terrible. Anything with buggers is terrible.
That's a Halo 2.
Top.
That's when it came in.
Was that Halo 2?
It was Halo 2.
Yikes. Yeah, like what?
Dual wielding and buggers.
Like, what are the worst Halo enemies?
Definitely
Buggers
those.
have gotta be
Gotta be
pretty
top.
high up there.
What about prophets?
Yeah, like in that floating chair bullshit.
was
It was
kinda
like in
bullshit.
2.
And I don't know if they would be considered enough of a. I mean, they were a boss-esque.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, this is probably an unpopular opinion, but I have not been the biggest fan of Roots
Just in general.
in general.
I feel like I agree with you. I feel like there was some fun to be had in 3 or 2 or whatever brutes were introduced. God, was that 2 as well?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
like I feel like there was fun, but I just, all of it, what it comes down to is the AI of the enemy, right?
Yeah.
Like, what is fun is the elites are these, like, tactical, surround you, fucking mercenary, like, shit, right?
Yeah.
And I just feel that, like, the areas that they were putting you in with brutes were, like, too big, for one thing, because they were trying to make everything fucking vehicle combat at that point. And they just weren't, like, as interesting an enemy to fight against.
Well, did they not have shields or significant? It felt like their shielding was a lot different than.
No, I think they were basically like, oh, they're like big and brutish, so it just takes it takes as many shots to get them down, but they don't have shields.
That's what I dislike. There was like a little.
Because there's like cat and mouse to do with like.
It's a little foreplay to kill. Just like that.
That's so good. So good.
It is. It feels so
satisfying. That's it's like that subreddit for extremely satisfying things. You're like,
Oh,
oddly satisfying.
Oddly. This is, you know what? This is one of my favorite parts.
This little hangar.
Yeah, I don't know why.
It's like a good. It's like a good survive this area, right? Like we're gonna be in this area, and you're gonna have a shitload of grunts and elites basically pouring out of all of these doors.
I like getting in the door and then not being able to get back into it.
Yeah, and you're like, all right, well, I guess okay, we must be done there. I don't know where anybody is.
There's some guys up top that get hard. This is where the snipers come in.
Yeah. God, I remember playing this on Legendary by myself, right? Over and over, and you just have to like sneak out and shoot a few guys and get a few hits down, and then sneak back in and find like the little cubby holes that you could just hide in.
There's a few parts that if you screw it up, you're done. Like I don't know if you can beat it. You almost have to like either run through it or.
Right, or like you just don't have the right amount of ammo or the right gun or something, or the right amount of health. Like really, they were really shitty about health.
Yeah, Halo's always been a little bit dicey with the health. I don't know if there's one scheme I like. I guess I don't particularly enjoy this one, but they gave enough health packs that doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, it's sort of like as long as they allow you to keep going forward. Isn't there a pistol in this area?
I just missed twice. I should probably just give up this thing right here. I killed that guy.
I sniped a elite in the spine.
I'm going to access the Covenant
always-
battle
Oh,
net and
this is
locate
the
the
area
online
where when you
portal
run
to
up for the
open door.
first time, I love the part where Cortana murmurs under her breath. Do you remember this? So you run up into this area, right? And you're like, you know, you come up over here, and this door is locked. And she's like, oh, I'm gonna have to hack this door or whatever. And one of the Marines goes, can you hurry it up, Cortana? Like, because there's bad guys coming, right? There's Covenant coming. And she murmurs under her breath, like, I'd like to see you hack a door, or hack a hex code in 4.8 seconds, or, you know, something. Like, she has some kind of thing. And I always remember, like, I could barely hear it. And so I looked it up, and I was, like, you know, enlarging it. And yeah, it's like this little thing that she adds. And I feel like it's so cool.
I think you can stick these guys.
Oh, yeah.
And I terribly
Oh,
missed 3
shit.
sticks.
I'm dead.
Oh shit. So you're saying
Yeah,
I should
dead.
die?
I got dead.
You saying I
Here we
gotta
go,
kill this
damn
on
it.
my own? Get back in.
I shot him with that pistol straight in the face. Eat it.
Got it.
Oh, it's because the
Everyone should move
who's
through
with
now.
us?
I can't guarantee that it won't lock again when it closes.
It's the sergeant, right? The sergeant's
Maybe.
with us.
Wait, did she say here?
He will keep coming with us as long as he's
But
alive.
no, did we hear the line?
Which line?
The line you just talking about?
Oh yeah, that was at the very beginning. You basically happens right as you're coming across the door. So we missed it, but so
Jesus,
good.
look how much blowing up that is.
Love that. Love the Needler.
Needler's classic.
Yeah.
I'm glad you used it. Oh, that's nice. Oh, there's
I have like a Needler and a Sniper.
It's good. That's a good combo. That Needler, man, the splash damage sometimes is really good.
Yeah, especially with like little grunts, like do it into a grunt and then have it like run back to its family.
Man, those like invisible guys are like running around naked or something.
Yeah,
It's nothing.
yeah, they're super easy to kill. Just like guys blown up multiple times, getting killed by the Needler, and then running straight into a whole cache of grenades on the ground.
I love how we played when we leave school play. Yes. Like a little duo running around, mopping up each other's kills,
Yeah.
killing each other. On
Killing each other just like I did right there, punching you in the face with the Needler.
That is a nice aspect of this.
Yeah, it's very friendly to like going off and doing your own thing, but then like coming back in together, right? Like somebody going up the front and somebody going down the side, right? And I think it was sort of set up. Maybe it was set up for co-op. I'm not sure, but I feel like it was set up to be like you can go down the front or you can go down the side. But then when you're dual, you're like, all right, we're just gonna do both of those things. Ooh, checkpoint. What checkpoint is this?
I don't know, I'm opening a door, right?
No, I
press
think
X to open the shuttle bay door.
Okay.
We need to get more Marines. Come on, full hammer.
Press X to open the shuttle bay door. Yeah, they're open. Nobody else is coming.
Are you serious? Are we pushing the wrong button?
Woo! I'm getting better at this now.
Yeah, I was a little rusty.
I was definitely rusty.
It's alright. We were doing hacks. We were showing our cool stuff. I swear there was more times that you can bring people in there, but they ain't working. We should have like a crew with us, I'm telling you. Is it not the right button to push this?
I don't think
It says press X, X.
I'm pressing X.
We have to kill these things maybe? That little punk? That guy?
Dang. Like,
Look at
checkpoint. Okay, that was checkpoint done. It says.
X. It looks...
Did it open?
I can't tell.
Yeah. See. Okay, it was open.
Oh, maybe that's it.
Oh, wait, now do it one more time.
Oh, I did. It
Yeah,
opened.
see, it opened, but just like...
That's it.
Nothing. Nobody's
Wait,
coming.
can I open this door?
No, because that one's got a person. Or
That's weird. I didn't even notice that. You can open the door.
You learn something new every Halo playthrough.
It'd be sweet if you could open it and it like sucked everyone out.
And then you would just hold on because you're in a suit.
Yeah, and you hold on a big. You know what would be really cool? Halo did. Was they had like a big bullet grenade thing with spikes on it, and they like flew out of the ship, and you grabbed it, and you like had to fly to the earth through all these like debris flying things. That'd be so epic.
I have a game for you to play, Adam. It's called the disappointing intro level to Halo 2. What was your opinion of Halo 2 when it came out? Because we had a very high like bar that had been set by Halo 1 at that point. We were pretty deep in.
Yeah.
And I remember playing through it and being psyched about just sort of the thing, but I was a fanboy, right?
Oh, absolutely. Well, I would agree. I was astounded by the graphical changes.
Yikes. Sorry.
That's all good. I have to die once too. No, with the graphical changes of it, it felt like they had money to build the game.
Right. That's
And-
definitely true.
And so I was like, and then dual wielding and had like enough things. So there wasn't any other games that were better than it at the time.
That's true. I mean, you're right. Like most games, you know, like comes out and it's sort of the peak of, especially because, you know, they had how many years to figure out the Xbox at that point.
I don't think it at all is this game. This is just too epic. There's
Yeah.
just so much about this. Like, you tell me Halo 2, I'm trying to think like, okay, what's a memorable Halo 2?
It was with the Arbiter, right?
No, I know like but like what's like one mission that just like
Yeah.
stands out? Like I think Assault on the Control Room on this
Totally.
one. I think
There's for every one Halo 2, I can name 5 Halo 1s, right?
absolutely.
Like I
Oh,
remember.
no, wait, they're asleep.
They're all asleep. Okay, let's go. Can we get them? Oh, I already screwed it up.
Okay, we'll kill him. Oh, there was right out the. Oh shit! There's a sword guy.
And he just sorted me straight in the face or the back. I feel like it does better. I feel like the original Halo was really dick about how close you are to enemies. Like you had to back up for like a million years in the original Halo. I feel like this remake perhaps allows that a little easier.
There's no remake. Like this is exactly how it was.
This is a pixel for pixel.
I think so.
I don't think so.
You don't think? You think this is just the old skins on the new engine?
I don't know, but I think that I bet they did some kind of work to it, don't you think?
Huh? That's a good question. I don't know. Maybe. Why would I just throw a grenade? When you threw a grenade, did you see me shoot the grenade out?
Nice.
It shot it out. That was hilarious.
I love that physicsy stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's always good.
Classic.
Is this oh no, this is the first run through. It's always funny to be like, oh right, we run through this exact same thing once the flood has happened, right? And then we get to see Captain Keyes getting, you know, floodified.
And when I was running through the first time, I was expecting to find keys like that. I was like, oh, you're alive.
Yeah, you're like, right.
What are you doing?
That's right. Hey, buddy.
Fighter way up. He does a cool little move. He has this little thing he does. Remember his thing? We're
Right.
gonna see his thing in a minute here.
Is it when we rescue him?
Yes, it is.
Maybe I don't remember this. I'm sure I'll remember it in the moment, but
At the very end of rescuing him, he
Yeah.
shows how badass he is. Oh wait, there's some invisible guys in here.
Invisible
At holding
guys.
cells.
I feel
There are
like it's one of
probably
like
multiple
shoot.
control stations. The captain must be in one of them. We need to keep
Oh,
looking
there
for
must
him.
be other ones.
I think you can open this too.
Yeah,
No?
you can open this. I thought.
Nobody-
Yeah,
There's
there
no
we go.
ammo or anything, is it?
I thought there was.
Maybe like a health pack in one?
Yeah.
Here's the health pack. We don't need it. Ooh, I got a lot of ammo. I'll take that. Yeah, I think it's just up a little bit. Alright, we've been streaming for 3 hours and 20 minutes.
Wow.
That's good. It's
Yeah.
It's a normal... Okay, here we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait.
Get up both of them.
Oh, I fucked it
No,
up.
it didn't. No, you can still get it.
I don't think I.
Yeah. See, you gotta like the walk has to
They have
line
to, like,
up,
just
right?
be perfect.
The swaddle, like the swagger of those dudes have to
that was
line up perfectly.
Okay, there's a sword guy.
Here we go. Yeah.
You got a snipe?
No. I don't know what happened to mine.
Oh shit! What the hell? He's pissed. Okay. Did you get him? No, he didn't. Oh no, he's not. He's invisible?
Nice. Those invisible guys.
Get those little punks. Keys is here.
All right, let's
That
let
was
Keys
reckless
out.
and stupid. Thank you.
Classic. Yes, that's exactly what he's gonna say.
I don't know if he says that, but I think
Yeah.
it's something close.
Coming here was reckless. You two know better than this.
Thanks.
Classic storytelling.
Yeah,
man.
good, good.
Marines, lock and load your weapons. Let's be ready to move.
See, he takes
sir.
command. It's
Yep.
not even you anymore.
And he gets that friggin'
While
weird
the covenant
alien
is
gun.
locked up in here,
Doesn't give a
overheard
shit.
Guards talking about this ring world.
Look at his
They
rank.
call it.
He's like a 1,000 bars.
we
of,
call it
The Covenant battle
Halo.
what? Late title card.
data in their networks. The ring has some kind of deep religious significance. If I'm analyzing this correctly, they believe that Halo is some kind
They
of
really
weapon,
put a lot
one
of
with
Halo.
vast,
It's like she's doing it with air
unimaginable
quotes.
power.
Halo.
The Covenant kept saying, whoever controls Halo controls the fate of the universe.
Now I see. I have intercepted a number of
We should have
messages
put the
about a
subtitles
Covenant
on.
search team
Supposed to put
scouting for a
subtitles on the
control
stream.
room. I thought they were looking for the bridge of a cruiser that I damaged during the battle above the ring.
Nothing else going on in
But
this
they
one.
must be looking for Halo's control room.
That's bad news. If Halo was a weapon and the Covenant gained control of it,
I feel like this was a good, concise story, right? It wasn't trying to, overtell a dramatic thing. It was like, we're gonna do
I have a new mission.
alien invasion,
We need to beat
but
the
then
Covenant
halfway
to
through
Halo's
zombies,
control.
and then second half,
Marines,
zombies
let's move.
fighting aliens.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
It was contained to where you felt like you contributed to the outcome, whereas next episodes were more like you're part of this huge war, and no
Right.
matter what you do, you're just like a little tiny ant.
Yeah. Which, I guess I can see there being fun in that, but I feel like it wasn't as fun.
No, I agree. I mean, they had the, like you said, get to the vehicles and get to the more the epicness of the universe, which is where you go in a series like this.
Yeah, it's sort of like you're hamstrung by it, right? Because you can't just tell the same sort of low story. You gotta raise the stakes every time, right? But in that way, I'm always like, did you need to raise the stakes? Like, not every story that Halo tells should be like the end of the universe.
I think they got a little bit better with that. We'll see what Halo Infinite's about.
Exactly, I am interested in
What's interesting is, have you seen any gameplay footage?
that. Well, they showed some of that, and they pulled it back up. It was like, we hate this.
Did they pull it out?
Well, it was supposed to come out last November. It was supposed to come out with the Series X.
What did they hate about it?
People were just like, that doesn't look like next gen shit. And so people were like, okay, you're right. And then they went, they basically, I think what they also saw was the shitload of backlash that Cyberpunk got.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, ooh, let's maybe not also run into that same problem where people are super hype about a thing and then we put it out and we're not happy with it. And so Microsoft was like, fine, take another year to do it. And so now it's, I think, coming out this Christmas maybe? I don't even think they've said. But in some ways I'm like, fine, just make it awesome. Like, I don't care. Oh, God damn it, Adam. Captain Keys is following us. You're making us look foolish.
Do you know he can die and it creates like a weird moment in the game where it's like it's just the game ends.
Wait, this can't be the right way, right? Because these are dead guys.
Yep. We gotta look for the live guys. Which
So we
are
man, these are always like hey, do you think you might get turned around in these identical purple hallways?
So here was a room that we came out of, so it's got to be this way.
Ugh.
That's where I killed the 2 jackals.
And here's...
Ah, fuck. Those are the 2 jackals. Don't go that way. I think you found it. Keep going.
Yeah. Because I got invisible guys here.
Warp my ass.
Check this out. Check this shit out.
Wait, where are you? Did you just kill yourself?
I stuck him.
Oh, so now you're lost with me.
and I've just left Captain Keys and everybody else to, like, fend for themselves.
Yeah, they're gonna have to run back to where are you at? I didn't even look.
Down? I think I'm, like...
Yeah, this is one of the things that maybe made it difficult for
No,
Halo
not
when
this
it was
way.
originally like released. Everyone would complain about it was just like running around the same halls. Like you had to run one way and then run all the way back
Yeah.
the same way.
Well, that was always the big thing with, like, the stupid, the library, right? Like, that
Oh,
was the whole...
absolutely.
And it is very nice in the new version. Where they have, like, at least arrows on the fucking ground. So that you could be
Oh,
like,
yes.
right, okay, I am going this way as opposed to back, which is what we need right now because I keep going back to the same goddamn room where Keys was. Where are we going?
I think we gotta go.
What
up.
is happening?
If
That
you-
is
if you-
another one of those rooms. I've been in
Okay.
that room 100 times.
So-
Okay, it's gotta be okay this
when-
way.
When you find your way out of a cave, you only stick to one right side of the wall.
It's like you're lost in the woods. You gotta keep one side, keep the mountains on one side of you,
Exactly.
and keep walking.
We're gonna go back to the original room the Keys was in. Just kidding.
Here we go. I got keys.
Yeah, what's up, boy?
All right, let's go kill these fucking.
Last things. Let's put a cap on this
Yeah,
stream.
exactly. This is. I did a great job of putting a cap on the stream by going and sworded straight in the face.
Yeah, it was a good moment.
It was a good, maybe not your best, but a good one.
Just trying to show.
We got all this crap here where I got sorted last time.
How epic we are, how good we are at this game.
You just.
There's your sniper.
Acknowledged, Foehammer.
Oh.
Cortana out.
Air support is cut off, Captain. We need
You're
to
not
For this
gonna
last little moment. Oh, but this is where, like.
Man, we're
Da, da,
trapped
da,
in here.
da, 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 da.
I'm not sure that happened.
Isn't it?
Could
Is it
be.
right here? Because they gotta release like a bunch of like sword guys.
One of
now.
those Covenant dropships. I can fly us out of here.
See, he's gonna fly us out. Here's the thing
Yes,
he does.
Captain. There's a Covenant dropship
He's
still
gonna
docked.
open this door, right here. The door's gonna open. Oh, wait, there's music. I see. Keys.
This is gonna be on normal, so it's gonna be like.
No one. There's nobody. What are you doing? What's he
Jeez.
doing, Keys? Why are you bending down like that?
Where are you shooting?
What you doing, boy?
Okay. All right, we're ready.
This
Got
is
him.
it, man. This
I
is
love
the
the.
end.
Yeah, this is like the good waypoint on the screen with how close you're getting.
Oh shit. Here we go. Last to the death. Let's do some no scopes. Multiple explosions. You push that button and it's over.
That's it.
That's it. End of the level.
Wow. That's a great level. I love that level.
mount up.
Don't love
Let's
those
get on board.
hallways, but we figured it out.
Here's the Captain Keys thing.
Oh yeah. Where he's like, oh, I've never flown a ship like this before.
Give me a minute
But-
to interface with the ship's controls.
No need. I'll take this bird out myself.
I'll just not only take this over, but also do this very complicated
Hang on.
maneuver to kill two very hard bandits.
Nice one, sir.
Perfectly.
Little payback.
Little payback.
And then just pull out perfectly and just get your
Zoom on out of there.
Hell yeah,
Keys
dude.
away.
Oh.
It's good. We were making fun of that. We were teasing that, but that's a very great game. Hey, see, we got
some
oh man,
achievements.
close quarters combat, reconciliation with at least 4. What did that say?
Oh, this is that what you got it. You got the it was the achievement for ending the level with at least 4 rounds in your sniper.
Oh, score. Did you get that or did I get that?
You got that.
Hey, nice.
I only knew about
The
it because
Covenant believe
got
that
it
what they
before.
call the silent
That's awesome.
cartographer.
All right, we're done. We're off of this. We're off of this show. So,
Hey,
that was a fun day of printing. Where's our printout?
Yeah,
we got a printout
absolutely.
here.
my 343 mounted head that I plan on painting to look like I murdered him and he is bleeding and mounted on this plaque.
Perfect.
Thank you, Adam.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you teaching me a lot about 3D printing.
Yeah, it was a good night, and I think that we're starting to learn a little bit more about 3D printing and streaming
And
things
Halo.
and talking and Halo. We'll continue these podcasts, and thank you so much, and we were signing off.
See you later.